Coming up on the next episode of the Celsius Pod.
Bro, he was called gay. That's a respectable crash out.
I do want you to know, Aiden, I also don't fuck with the Star Wars original trilogy. So
Yeah, so me and Nicola do not like the movie. We think it's bad, and we did not enjoy it.
now, guys, this is the Celsius Pod Civil War. '91.
92.
Wait, oh
92
yeah,
back.
shit, because the Nicola
It's actually
one.
97, guys.
91 was Nicola.
Okay.
97.
Dumb fuck.
Not
Guys.
97.
Episode 97,
The
guys.
first
It's
real
66.
episode since 90.
Almost, because we are banning shows from this
We
episode.
did.
Simply because we all watched 8 movies together, and we have we watched in total 10 fucking movies that at least 3 of us have all seen, and so we got a lot to go. Gotta go over
Yeah.
today.
And that makes my movies over the summer in theaters watched 23 movies, 17 outings.
That's
Wow.
a lot.
It is crazy
That's a
how the difference between outings and movies watched, because we did a lot of like double features.
We did
Me
2
too.
double. Here, guys, I actually have some stats for me that I
Ooh.
wrote about this.
Some statistics.
He did
Wow.
the math, bro.
So there was like 3 anniversary re-releases: The Muppet Movie, Lion King, and Coraline.
Yep.
I watched Deadpool and Wolverine 3 times in theaters.
So did I.
2 double feature days,
Mhm.
2 quad feature days,
Yep.
6 animated movies, and 17 live action movies.
Wow.
Mm.
What are you where are you putting Ryan's World? Is that live action or animated?
I
Or is
put it
it-
more like I think
That's
I
more
did
live
animated.
animated.
It's mostly animated.
it is more anime. I guess you
It's
could
live
yeah,
animated.
yeah.
It's literally
Um,
not. That's an insult to live animated movies.
True.
It's live animated.
It's not
Um,
animated.
yeah. I guess 7 then. But yeah, and so pretty exciting summer. We watched
Pretty
a lot
exciting.
of movies. And
We
I would
really
like-
did watch a lot of movies.
Yeah. I would say, guys, let's say our favorites of the summer. So far, I'm gonna say my
Dude,
favorites. My 2 favorites of the summer were Kinds of Kindness and Didi.
Mine were I would say Kinds of Kindness and Wolverine. Or maybe yeah.
I would say Trap and Didi because those are really the only 2 I watch.
I would
What?
say Didi, and if it counts, Coraline. If it doesn't, then Deadpool.
Yeah, if it counts, I'd also say Coraline.
Oh wait, no,
yeah,
wait.
but the
Inside
issue
Out
is
2.
Coraline didn't come out this
Inside Out 2.
This guy.
Inside Out 2.
Nicola, you
Didi.
don't want to put your favorite movie If?
Yeah, bro.
I never
bro
said it was my. I
fucking loved
never
it.
once said I said that's my
You
favorite movie.
loved If.
You
I'm gonna
loved it.
To actually bike to your house and come in your fucking wife.
What?
This,
What a weird
okay.
threat.
this seems actually, Uri, like a step up from where you are currently, as a currently single male.
Because
So-
that's your wife, but then
Yeah.
Nicola
No,
comes in her,
no,
so
I
that's
say
kind of a dilemma.
no. This is a future threat. This is once you get a wife, I'm
Future.
gonna fucking cheat. I'm gonna make her cheat on
Bro's
you.
gonna pull and it
Oh,
ends
no.
with us.
I'm gonna get your
That's
wife
fair.
pregnant when you get one. When you get a wife, I'm gonna get her pregnant, and you're
And you
not
know
the father.
Nicola's child.
And you're not the
No!
father.
No.
Okay, let's.
And I'm
Let-
not the father. Aiden's the
No.
child.
Ew.
He's
What
the
a gross
baby.
episode.
He is
Back in
time
Aiden, you
traveled
both
back
have
in time
three-
to start the podcast.
Beck and Aiden, you both have 3 individual movies, so let's talk about those before we get to the big
Alright,
ones.
Aiden,
Yeah,
you
and for
start.
the big ones, we'll go in order from least controversial to
The
most
most
All right,
controversial.
can we talk
Uh,
about this one? Can we
Uh,
talk about this
We
one?
are not talking about
No.
this one yet.
Can we talk about this
All
one,
right,
guys?
so
We have
let me start
individual
off
stuff.
with the movie I watched 3 weeks ago before episode 90 that I've yet to talk about. It was a rewatch. I rewatched
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Mm.
Now,
I've
I
seen
was
this
really
movie.
I was really bored and really tired, and I said I should watch a movie. And then I saw Teen Titans Go to the movies. And here's the thing about Teen Titans Go: people fucking hate Teen Titans Go. Compared to the original series, which apparently was really good, I didn't really watch it. This show sucks ass because it's just fart jokes and poop jokes. And people hate fart and poop
And
jokes.
taxes.
And taxes. Yeah.
And death.
But those episodes and death. But I do like the show of what I've seen. I've seen like the first 2 or 3 seasons, and it's funny for the most part. But the movie is like actually, if it wasn't written like Teen Titans Go, it would actually be a really solid like meta textual movie about superhero movies. So Robin, like from Batman, is like, guys, I don't have my own movie. And they're like, shit, Robin, let's go get you a movie. They don't actually get him a movie. Terrible. But like surrounding superhero movie culture is very like, they make jokes about like they're making an Alfred movie and a Batmobile movie and a Bat utility belt movie, and they just won't make one about Robin, which is like fair, you know. But I think
Very
the movie's
fair.
pretty funny.
So it's sort of
Uh,
like a sort of fourth wall type of breaking movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Do they talk to like the camera?
At the end of the movie, Robin grabs the camera and says, "Ask your parents where babies come from." So they definitely do talk to the camera. And they finally introduce Slade into the series. Slade is like the big bad in the original Teen Titans show, and he wasn't in Teen Titans Go at all. And they introduce him in this movie, and the best way I think they could have, he has like mind manipulation powers, and like he can brainwash and shit. But instead, in this movie, they just have him do corny magic tricks. Like he like pulls off his thumb and wiggles a pencil and says, "What's that over there?" And they all turn around, and then he's gone. It's just like stupid shit like that. That was like the best way they could have brought him into the series. And I
Sounds like a
think
really
that
fun movie that kind of just like
it's
kind
a
of plays
pretty
with the
fun
idea of
movie,
superheroes.
and it's kind of poopy, but I really like it. It has
Was this the one that came out a few years ago?
like 2019.
Okay.
Mhm. He did do a
Um,
karaoke of it.
Yeah, I did, because that song's actually really good.
Okay. What else do you watch?
Well, no, now it's Beck's turn.
Oh,
Oh,
we're swapping off.
Yeah, we're gonna alternate. You don't like
Okay.
alternating?
What I
Yeah,
watched.
Beck.
We're all
got his-
going to the World's Fair. Now, I'm gonna
Wow.
assume none of you have heard of this movie.
What is this
No,
movie?
that sounds like you made it up.
Okay,
Beck, stop lying about movies.
so do you guys know about I Saw the TV Glow?
I'm
Yeah.
My
familiar
movie of
with
the
I Saw the
year.
TV. I'm
So
familiar.
I was like, I really like this movie. What else did this director make? And then this was the only other movie outside of like documentaries and like random short
Mm.
films that was like feature length. So I tried
Mhm.
watching it, and it is definitely like shot in like the same style as I Saw the TV Glow. I wouldn't say it's as
Sure.
good, but it's still insanely good. So it's about this girl, and she does what's called the World's Fair Challenge, where it's like on YouTube, there's this trend where if you like prick your finger with a pin and then say, I want to go to the World's Fair, you'll go to the World's Fair. And she does it.
Which World Fair?
Just the World's Fair.
Which one?
I don't know.
one?
So we basically follow her as she goes more and more insane. Like
In
just,
the
like,
World's Fair?
not in the World's Fair, like in her own room and just like around. She's like freaking out. She like has like sleepwalking nightmares. She like tears up her teddy bear. And then she like meets this guy online that's like, you're in danger. The World's Fair is gonna get you. And then eventually she like posts a video saying, I'm gonna kill myself. And then the
Really?
guy is
Back.
like, can we like step out of the game for a moment? Are you actually gonna kill yourself? And then she's like, This was a game? No.
No.
What the fuck are
she
you
was
talking
gonna kill
about?
herself.
What is this?
So it's basically like this girl going insane from this online trend that she didn't know was fake. So she
What
thought,
the fuck?
and then eventually, like, she like goes to sleep and is like, I went to the World's Fair and they said not to kill myself. And then she keeps on living, and it's a peak movie.
Is this like a horror movie?
I would say it's more of like a psychological horror where there's not like any jump scares or anything necessarily scary, but it has like this uneasy, offsetting mood throughout the entirety of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so the sort of metaphor of this movie is sort of like mental health.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Okay.
does she go to the World's Fair
No,
or not?
Aiden, the World's
No.
Fair isn't real.
The World's Fair is a real thing. It was in Tomorrowland.
No.
No.
See, Aiden, it was in Tomorrowland. That's a fake movie. I'm sorry to break it to you, but Tomorrowland isn't
Aiden.
real.
Aiden,
It's a real
don't kill
thing.
yourself. Do not kill yourself. if you
Aiden,
wanna go
don't-
to the
it's a
World's Fair.
trend.
I would like to go to the
isn't
World's
real.
Fair. I frankly would love to go to the World's Fair if it was anywhere in America.
Okay, but Aiden, when
but
you eventually
it
get
sounds
around,
interesting.
yeah, when you get around to watching I Saw the TV Glow, if you like it, I would recommend you watch this. It's a very
Okay.
similar
Okay,
style.
but did they actually see the TV glow?
Yes,
No, but I mean like in
Whoa.
the other one.
yes,
The TV glows in both movies.
yes.
That's crazy.
Okay,
But-
Aiden,
but-
your turn.
But speaking of movies only one of us have watched that have come out this year, I watched Jackpot with Aquafina and Ricky Stenicki.
Jackpot.
I cannot
John
think
Cena.
of two opposite actors. One is really liked and one is really hated.
Yeah.
John Cena and
So-
The Rock.
No, it's John Cena and Aquafina.
Oh.
So Aquafina comes to
She
back
goes,
to
"What?"
California after her mom dies, and she's an actor, and she's trying to get back in the acting business. And then she accidentally activates, like joins the lottery. And here's the thing: it's 2030 California. Government has gone to shit. They ran out of money, so
So
they're doing
realistic.
it is very realistic, and there's a shot where there's a bunch of homeless people, and Aquafina's like, "There's so many homeless people," and it's like not as many homeless people are there as there is now.
Yeah, it's like it's actually better now that the government's gone.
No, the government's still there, but the government is like, "Okay, California, I have a proposition for you. Whoever wins the lottery gets to be hunted down by every single other person in California, and whoever kills them gets the jackpot."
Fun.
That's
But
funny.
they can't use bullets. They can't shoot, which is just I guess makes the movie more interesting or
Mhm.
whatever. But she accidentally joins the lottery and wins, and then she gets attacked for.
Is
she
there
gets
any
tried to get-
benefit to joining the lottery?
You get $3.8 billion.
It's required by law.
No,
Wait.
you get $3.8 billion.
So if you win, you get $3.8 billion. But if you get
Yeah.
hunted, and if you survive the hunt, you keep the money.
Yeah.
How long do they have?
They have till sundown.
Ooh, it's a 1-day thing.
Yeah.
And so that's always sundown is always the great term in movies for when something is a deadline. You know,
Yeah,
It is a good deadline.
it's always been an iconic
Um,
deadline.
So she gets attacked, and then John Cena shows up, and he's a freelance like protector guy, and he's like, "Give me 10% of your winnings, and I'll protect you." And she doesn't know what the fuck is going on. She accidentally joined the lottery, and she doesn't know what it is, so she just happily obliges, and they hang out, and they fight, and then they go to Machine Gun Kelly's house, and they go into his
What?
safe room. Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly is in this movie as himself.
Why?
I don't really know.
he's a
It was very
celebrity, Aiden.
strange.
They need more people.
And then and then Simu Liu shows up. He's like, "Hey guys, it's me, Simu Liu. I'm
I'm
part of."
actually an assassin.
No, he's not an assassin. So John Cena, Noel works as like a freelance protector guy, and Simu Liu owns a business called Lewis that that is like the biggest protection agency for jackpot winners.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, freaking
Weird side business to get into, Simu Liu.
John Cena almost failed you. I'm here to protect you. Give me 30%. And Aquafina's like, no, give 30% to John Cena also. And then they do it. And John Cena's like, this is very suspicious that they're helping you because he actually fucking sucks. And then they realize, wait a minute, he actually kills the people he protects. So he gets all the money to get all the special shit. And then they escape, and then they fight more, and then Aquafina lives.
And then she gets the money?
And she gets all the money, and she gives half of it to John Cena.
Okay. It sounds like kind of like a fun movie. Why? I see you rated it kind of poorly.
I mean, it was just... Here's the thing. So, every time John Cena is on screen, or anyone that's not Aquafina, it's really funny. And then Aquafina shows up, and she's like, you look like a McDonald's hamburger. And it's like, okay, come on. This fucking sucks. You're not funny. Get off the stage. You're not funny. Like,
wow, I guess Aiden doesn't believe women are funny.
That's
not
right.
Aiden does hate women. He was talking to us during like all the movies.
Yeah.
He just
everybody
hates any women that shows up on screen.
Out of all four of us on the podcast, it's definitely Aiden that hates movies.
Like literally during Alien, he kept like whispering over me saying, "I hope this main character dies just because she's a woman."
I don't even know which movie you're talking about. He
also turned to me and he kept saying, "Oh my god, I hate that pregnant woman. I hope she dies.
Yeah.
I hope her baby kills her."
Yeah.
And he hates it ends with us because it features a woman in the lead.
He steals children.
This is slander. I mean,
Aiden
slander.
steals children from brothels.
No!
From brothels?
No!
That's kind of crazy, man.
Okay. Anyway, Aquafina is not funny in this movie.
Okay.
Oh
Everyone else is good. John Cena's really funny. Simu Liu's really funny. Just the rest of Machine Gun Kelly's actually kind of funny when he's on the screen. Like
it seems like this type of movie would kind of be better if it wasn't like maybe an action comedy and they took more of like a more, I guess for me it would be more better if like they go a serious approach for this type of movie.
Yeah, I feel like they need like the family to be taken hostage by like some of the people. And then, like, maybe someone gets raped. I feel like that would make things more intense.
What the fuck, Beck?
This is insane.
Uri's perfect film, guys.
Oh, no, but I think it works as a comedy because because Aquafina basically has all of Los Angeles hunting after her, and it's like the crowd of people hunting her basically just work as zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost that are just slightly better at fighting. Because
maybe this movie is a
regular
euphemism
people.
for the zombie apocalypse.
It's not. I think it's. For
are John Cena and Aquafina allowed to kill the people chasing them?
Yes, but like Aquafina is an actor and John Cena is just a really nice guy. He was like a mercenary until he realized that the people he was killing were actually good people. And then he stopped being a mercenary, and every time he like helps somebody like win the jackpot, he actually donates all of the money he gets to the families. So he's actually just a really nice guy. Like the first like couple people he knocks out, he flips them over so they don't choke on their tongues. Like he just does not want to hurt anybody.
So he just knocks them out.
Yeah.
This movie sounds so dumb, and I love it.
It's pretty good.
It's not to make it more serious. They need someone with an eating disorder in this movie.
It's not bad. Like the premise is really funny, and like the dynamic.
Uri's dream movie is someone with an eating disorder.
I don't know, I feel like Beck, you're self-reporting on yourself here.
No, bro, literally. His one critique of Inside Out was like, we need an Inside Out movie where someone has an eating disorder island. That'd be peak.
Okay, Beck, that would be an interesting movie. Like, what would happen in their head?
Hey,
Riley is the most boring person in the Inside Out universe for this thing to happen to. Continue, Aiden.
I will say one thing. They do have a blooper reel in the end credits, and every line that's in the end credits that's delivered by Aquafina is way funnier than what actually is in the movie.
I think it might be a writing problem.
Yeah, there's this one blooper that was kind of there's this one character that she like stays in an Airbnb with, and like her boyfriend is like, here's a LaCroix, you should drink this, and Aquafina's like, what flavor is it? He's like, it's pussy flavor. She's like, I can't have that, I'm allergic to pussy. And then like the Airbnb host is like, adult onset pussy disorder. Terrible.
Awesome movie.
Like, the joke makes absolutely no sense. I need to watch this movie.
No, it's actually really good. I mean, I don't really recommend it for either of you because I don't think you'd enjoy it as much as I did. But it is pretty funny.
Well, this movie's made for guys who like Ricky Stenicki, you know?
Yeah, but Ricky Stenicki's better because that one had Zac Efron in it.
Okay, my turn.
Now it's your turn.
All right, I watched Promising Young Woman. Now,
And Beck, I told Beck this was on my watch list, so maybe we could have like watched together, but he was like,
Okay.
no.
here is what happens.
Little Women.
I'd like to say this is my like strategy for watching something. Through like any online review, any like letterbox list, I like personally will just like, maybe I'll watch it later. But the moment someone like in person recommends a movie to me, I like it like immediately jumps like the top of my watch list. So whenever it was like,
'cause I keep recommending you watch.
Aiden, this is very different because
No.
we have been on a podcast for 2 years and you've given me 200 recommendations. You're done with recommendations.
And you know what's at the top of the list? The top of the list is always Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
And guess
So,
what? We have a plan to see it. Over Thanksgiving break,
Okay.
we will watch it.
But what about The Lighthouse?
I
Beck, what about
started
The
it,
Bear?
Nicola. I'm like 15 minutes in.
No, we were supposed to watch it together. and you
I
can't watch it.
I started watching it before you talked about it.
You can't just say 15 minutes in and like you're supposed to watch the movie in one sitting. It's not even that long of a movie.
Okay, well, I was watching
It's
it at like
about the
1 a.m. trying to
experience,
fall
bud.
asleep.
Oh my god, then
Beck,
you're not
I didn't even
appreciating
recommend the
the
movie.
art.
I didn't even
I
recommend the
didn't
movie. I just said
recommend- I just remember that the movie existed and I'm like, hey, I kind of want to watch this.
I
Yeah,
literally
okay.
Go
My
fuck
watch list
yourself.
is so
Spoilers, but I know,
long,
like,
bro.
I know,
kill yourself. Kill yourself. Go fuck
know-
yourself.
like the general kind of like idea of the movie, but
Yeah.
it was like you can continue. I had like Bo Burnham in it, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's what
So
the big thing. I
and
know.
I won't get into spoilers per se, but I'll like go over like the general premise.
Of the
Where-
Lighthouse? Lighthouse is William
No,
Dafoe.
not the lighthouse, bro. Shut up about the
William
lighthouse.
Dafoe.
Fuck off, Nicola.
Okay, so there's this woman, and her like best friend slash adopted sister, I think, something like that, was raped in college, and then no one believed that she was raped, and then she killed herself. And then
Fun.
this is the perfect movie for Uri.
Fire movie.
This is the kind of perfect movie for Uri and Beck.
Yeah.
And was it? And was
Okay.
it Bo Burnham?
It was not Bo Burnham. That was not the twist.
Oh,
So now, since that happened, our main girl is like, she dropped out of med school, because was really sad about her friend's passing because she killed herself. And then she like lives her life. She works at a coffee shop, but then Bo Burnham shows up, and he's an old associate from medical school, and he's like, hey. Remember all these people from medical school? They're doing so well right now. And then she's like, I must have my revenge. So she goes up against like 4 like people that were involved with like the incident and like gets revenge on all of them. Like the person that the girl like reported the crime to, and then like the lawyer that helped like cover it up, like goes to get revenge on all of them, and that's
Sounds
basically like the
fun.
plot of the movie.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
This is the same director who made Saltburn, from
It
what I
is?
remember. Yeah,
I did not
same
know that.
director. And no, it's always been like, well, I'm watching this for like a while, so I really actually want to see this movie. It sounds kind of fun, and there's like a twist, right?
Yeah, there is a twist.
So that's pretty exciting. What did you give it?
I think 3.5, 4. I really liked it. I was really engaged in it throughout.
Yeah, sounds pretty fun. Aiden,
I
last
just sent,
movie.
yeah, hold on. I just sent a clip from Jackpot near the end of the movie. If you want an idea of what it looks like.
I'll
and what it
watch
is.
it after the pod.
Okay, so the last movie I watched this in preparation for like a movie that I'll see in like 2 weeks. I rewatched Beetlejuice. It's been a while since I watched Beetlejuice, so I watched Beetlejuice.
You said it
And now
3
here's-
times,
here's-
Aiden.
Yeah.
God damn it! I said Beetlejuice 3
Oh.
times. Oh God! Oh no!
Beetlejuice?
Oh,
He's gonna
no.
fuck your
Beetlejuice?
mom.
Beetlejuice.
Oh no! He probably would, Nicola. He probably would. So,
Okay, so I
this
already know
movie-
the entire plot of the first one from seeing the trailer for the sequel so many times. So,
really, what is the plot for the first movie?
so
Nick?
there's this girl, and she
Okay,
summons.
you're already wrong.
There's this girl,
You're
and
already
she
wrong.
summons Beetlejuice, and then
Why?
Beetlejuice wants to marry her, and then she has to fight Beetlejuice.
Okay,
And
so
then
you've
banishes
explained the
him.
last. You've explained the last 10 minutes of the movie.
I've solved the movie. I just know this stuff, guys.
So the two characters. What the fuck is the guy's name again? I'm
His name's
forgetting what the guy's
Beetlejuice,
name.
Aiden. Did you forget
No.
that?
Not him. His name is what's his name? Adam, played by Alec Baldwin.
Oh,
So
I guess he's not coming
Adam,
back.
No. So Adam and Barbara, they're living in their town in New England, and they're having a staycation. 2 weeks at home alone. They're a happy couple. They love each other very much. And then they fucking die. Then they
Ooh.
die in a car accident and drown and are dead. And so then they're like, "Oh shit, we're dead. What's going on?" And then their house gets sold because they're dead, and then these people move in. There's the dad, the stepmom, and then Winona Ryder, and she's a goth in this movie, and she's like, "Only strange people can see ghosts, and I am strange." And it's like, great, good job, Winona Ryder. And the ghosts are like, "Crap, we gotta get them out of the house." So they go to the ghost world and they go talk to their ghost counselor, and their ghost counselor is like, "All right, you gotta get him out of this house. Don't talk to Beetlejuice though. He sucks. He's a terrible person." And they can't get him out of the house. So they summon Beetlejuice. We are 45 minutes into this hour and a half long movie,
Oh my
and
God,
Beetlejuice finally shows
I
up.
thought we were 10 minutes, bro.
No, Beetlejuice doesn't show up until 50 minutes into the movie. And so Beetlejuice shows up, starts groping Adam's wife. She starts groping Barbara naturally. And they're like, I think this guy sucks, actually. So they leave him and they try haunting some more. And then Lydia's like, "Oh, you're real. You're a real ghost. I'm going to go tell my parents that you're real. They're probably not going to believe me, but I'm going to go tell them." And then they don't believe her. And then they have a house party. And then Barbara and Adam are like, "We'll haunt them." And they make them do a dance. They make them go 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Here I come and I want to go home. And they all dance. And then instead of being scared that they were all possessed and forced to dance, they're like, "Wow, that was so cool. How can we profit off of it?"
How
And-
can we profit off of that?
That's a Nicola
That's the
Let me
mindset.
prove it, guys. Let's make
That's
a
the American mindset right there.
pay me $5 for this.
Yeah. So then they're like, oh shit, that didn't work. And Beetlejuice is like, you know what? I'm gonna just do my own thing. And then he haunts the house and they all get scared. And Lydia's like, no, Adam and Barbara were mean to me. I'm gonna go kill myself. Um, I am being serious. She does write a suicide note.
Ooh.
That's relatable.
A lot of killing yourself in this episode, you know?
There
Rude.
is. It's a pretty dark episode so far. And we aren't even
And
friends with us.
Every other sentence is Beck is bringing up rape and then killing yourself.
I have to set the tone for it ends with us, guys.
Rape, murder, suicide. That's the title of the episode.
No, we can't call it that.
we get instantly banned, bro.
We can't call it rape, murder, suicide.
No.
That's the quote.
Is that the quote of the
No!
episode? The quote of the episode is "We can't call it rape, murder, episode."
we
we
can't call
can't.
it uncensored.
The quote of the episode is "We cannot call the episode rape, murder."
Guys, this is why
Suicide.
this podcast could have never been a school sanctioned
Bro, if this
podcast.
was school
Yeah.
sanctioned, we'd be so bad.
That's what it was gonna be originally.
Bro.
Yeah, that would have been so funny if it was though. So they fail hunting and then they bring in some other people and they're like, guys, look, we have ghosts. And they're like, they're not coming out, they're not coming to hang out. And the fat guy is like, don't worry, guys, I stole their book that tells them how to be dead, and I can just summon them. And then he summons them and they start to die. And Lydia's like, no, they're dying. And then she goes to Beetlejuice. She's like, Beetlejuice, I need your help. Can you save them? And he's like, well, I'll save you. I'll save them. If I can marry you because I'm and then then she summons him and he saves them. And then he's like, oh, Lydia, let's get married. And then they get married almost until they say Beetlejuice 3 more times. And then he actually don't say Beetlejuice 3 more times. Barbara comes through the ceiling riding
I think
a
you've said
sandworm.
Beetlejuice like 20 times at this point.
It's
I'm
fine.
surprised
Oh,
he hasn't shown.
it'll be fine. So there's this thing, like if you step outside of like your house when you're dead, you just go to Saturn or Jupiter or whatever, and on the planet there are sandworms and they will eat you and kill you.
Okay, so
But
Nicola would
when-
love this movie.
But Barbara
Yeah,
gets
sounds like
teleported
Dune.
there. Barbara gets teleported there and she actually rides
Saturn
it
or
into the
Jupiter?
house. I don't remember which planet it is.
Jupiter-
One of
Those
Those-
are gas planets.
Go,
Shut up.
girls
It's
go to
it's
Jupiter
the
to get more
90s.
stupider.
It's 1988. That doesn't matter.
Okay.
And so
They
she comes
definitely
riding
knew
sandworm
that
and they
Jupiter and
eat-
Saturn were gas
Shut
giants
up.
in
It's
1988.
Beetlejuice. Are you dissing Tim Burton? Come on, man. So then the sandworm eats Beetlejuice and they're all saved and they all live together happily ever after. The ghosts and the Dietz family, they're all fine. They're all good now, which is great. So this movie is really, really good. It's really funny. It's a really tight script. All of like the dead world and all of like the concepts they introduce are all really cool. This movie is all practical and just a lot of effects. that are,
Actually,
like,
in
targeted-
good CGI is just invisible CGI.
It was the 88. You can tell when they did CGI
Yeah,
when
I
they
know.
were on Saturn. They had like a fuzzy outline around them because they can't crop people.
I mean, it sounds really fun. It's like, is like the Beetlejuice character, Michael Keaton, is he like the best in the movie, character in the movie? Like,
He's not in it very much. He's in it for like less than 30 minutes, but he's really funny when he is on the.
So
on
that's
the
why
screen.
people really like him, and that's why he's back for so much of the next movie.
Yeah, like he just has a lot of really good line deliveries. Like there's like the one where Lydia's like, "I want to talk to Barbie." He's like, "You don't need to talk to Barbara." It's just like he's a very cartoonish villain in a live action movie. Like he was made for a cartoon.
I mean, yeah.
Michael Keaton's performance really good. But I would very much recommend it and then see the sequel because hopefully the sequel will be good. I
Can't wait for
hope
the
it-
sequel to be.
I heard it
absolute
was like the
fucking
sequel
dog
didn't
shit.
have they didn't like listen to any of like the studio notes for the sequel and they
Oh.
just kind of did their own thing, which I heard was from some of the actors in the movie, which could be
Yeah.
a good sign. I don't know if but it sounds promising. I do want to watch the original Beetlejuice because it does sound like sort of that, it's kind of like a very cult classic type of movie from like the 80s.
It's
And-
very good. It's very good.
Yeah.
You know, I really hope I might just go to the movie just so they get enough money to make a third one so they can call it Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
I don't think they'd call it Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
That's
They
the
have
perfect
to.
title, though.
No, I think because they can't, because then they would summon him.
I think
And then nobody.
the
Hey,
moment
I don't know if you know this, but
scriptwriter
Beetlejuice
puts it
is
down,
not
he
real.
dies.
What?
Beetlejuice isn't real, Aiden.
You're not supposed to say that. I
I
think you
can't
just hurt
say-
Beck's feelings.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to say that. He will come and kill you in your sleep. He's a pedophile.
What?
So please be careful.
Okay.
So we only
wait,
need to worry
uh,
about Nicola.
Yeah,
What?
Nicola, watch your back.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's our next, Beck? Do you have your found movie, or is
Oh,
it
hold
your
on.
favorite?
do.
I just hold on. I just read something on. So I'm looking at the Wikipedia for Beetlejuice because I wanted to look at the cast. And for Beetlejuice, it says both Keaton and director Tim Burton opted to keep the character as politically incorrect as he was in the original film.
Let's go.
Is he gonna just be saying slurs?
Is he gonna be a pedophile again?
He's gonna be like, ugh. I voted for Trump.
Oh God.
Abortion?
Abortion? No, I want to fuck the children.
I mean, he tries to get married to 15-year-old Winona Ryder in the movie, so he is.
Oh.
This is our
LGBTQ. Why would I care?
You know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna go all in on this episode, just being the most insane episode of the Celsius
This is
podcast.
the one that will get us banned.
Don't
Why would
worry,
this get us
guys.
banned? That's not how it works.
It will be
No.
fine.
Okay. My
Bye, bye.
last one.
Wait, Beck. Who will Gru be tonight? That's the question.
Who will groom me tonight? Yeah.
No! Stop!
All right, guys. What do you know about the Descendants franchise?
I
Nothing.
know.
I can
Less
answer.
than nothing. Less than nothing.
I wanted to watch the movies and then I never did because when they first one came out, it was still when I was like watching Disney Channel.
Never
pretty a
even
lot,
heard of
and
it.
I was like watching Jesse and like Liv and
Me
Maddie.
too.
So I was like, oh, Dove Cameron and
Cameron Boyce?
and Cameron Boyce also. I know those guys, and I like Disney things.
I never
so
even
I would
heard
like
of
to
it.
watch it, and then I didn't. I just never did.
Mm.
So I was Aiden like in a similar spot. I was watching the Disney Channel shows, and it was like came around the time. So I watched the first two Descendants movies
Mhm.
when they like came out originally, and then I think
Isn't the first one like pretty good?
it's actually like pretty good from what I remember. It's like
For a
a
Disney
nice, like-
Channel original movie, it's like really solid.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
never
because
heard
it,
of
like-
this, and I can't wait for you guys to start explaining the plot and be like, "Oh yeah, I 100% watched that." Like when I was
I
born.
haven't seen it. I know I haven't seen it.
because it was like a good subversion of like the modern kind of like I guess like kind of fairy tales. So it was like an interesting way from what I remember.
Mhm.
And but this is like the fourth one in the franchise, correct, Beck?
It's a
No, I know.
spin-off.
Then because there are 4 movies already,
Yeah.
right?
No, there are 3.
Oh,
What
okay.
is Ursula's daughter in the third one? Is that the
Ursula's
second one?
daughter is in the second one.
What's the third one?
Don't remember.
It's
Okay.
I'm looking.
So I'll just give the
It's-
premise of this. Oh.
It's purple.
Oh, it's Hades. Bro is in this one also. Oh wait, I think it's Hades' son is the third one. This is just regular Hades. Okay.
Oh my god, I have watched this. Descendants? I actually have watched this.
Oh my god!
I watched this.
This is
No,
the
unironically, I actually
you
watched
said
all
cool.
of these.
seconds ago. Oh, one of you is gonna say that you have watched this.
You
I
watched it,
actually-
Nicola.
I actually watched all of these.
Okay, so we all know the general premise, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the villains are stuck on their own island, because they're poor and they're evil.
Yeah.
And then actually some of
And
them
then
are
I remember
good.
there's cameos by all of the actual villains because these are the children of the villains.
Except for Gaston,
Because-
the best one.
Because he's not a villain, he's a hero.
He is a hero.
He just hates women.
Okay, yeah. So basically,
real
all
guy.
that happens, and then I think either like the second or the third one, they like build the bridge between the bad guy island and the main island. So there's like
That might be in the
peace.
first one, I think.
Yeah. That was the first one. I know that.
Okay, something like that, where there's peace and everyone's hanging around. And then now, conveniently, the entire main cast of the original 3 movies are going to another travel on a boat. So we can't have them in the
Conveniently,
movie.
cast
Wait, Beck. It's fuck. We can't have Liv
Conveniently.
Cameron.
Conveniently, they couldn't get Dove
They don't-
Cameron.
They
Dove
couldn't
Cameron?
get Cameron Boyce for the movie.
They could not.
They couldn't get him.
They could not.
They couldn't get They couldn't get Dove Cameron or Cameron Boyce.
Yeah.
Only you can prevent
So
V-Bucks
what we introduce, here's what we have. We have. Do you guys know Alice and the Wonderland?
Yeah.
Don't, what do you
Alice-
mean, Alice and the Wonderland?
Alice and the Wonderland.
You
Wonderland.
know Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, do you know it?
Well, I'm talking about the character Alice and the Wonderland, as in like the location.
You mean the fictional the dream that she has?
Okay, so in
You
this
mean
universe,
the thing
it's
the
real.
author came up with while he was on shrooms?
And so
Okay.
they go down the hole, and then a talking cat possesses this girl named Neapolitan.
I was watching, and I'm like, they stole a ton of this from Ruby. It was crazy.
And then they played the song "Go Ask Alice"
They did
when
not.
she's 10
So,
feet
The
tall.
Red Queen is evil, and she's so evil that she wasn't put on the evil island. She was locked away in a completely separate location of Wonderland.
Because the
Compared
evil
to-
people aren't actually evil.
Compared to what, like Hades and Jafar,
Yeah.
and like is Scar in this universe at all?
I don't
Is he
know
just-
because he's a fucking lion.
Yeah, well, how did that work?
I don't.
I mean,
know
to be
how that
fair,
works.
He's
Hades is
really
a fucking
funny.
god. How is he in there?
Yeah, why is
he's
he
at
not
least like
as-
human shaped? Okay.
Is he?
Okay, but also, Nicola, think about this. It's not about the main villains, it's about the children of the villains. So you'd have to think about like, you know,
Who did he fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but wait, what you're saying is that Red Queen was so evil she's locked up somewhere else. She doesn't do anything.
No, she
she's
chops
just
people's
a
head
regular
off.
queen.
that's her whole thing. They have an entire song about
Mary
it.
Antoinette is worse than her.
Okay, so she is like a dictator, and then her daughter doesn't like that, the princess. So she's like
Yeah.
rebellious. But then Ursula's daughter from the second movie is now like the ruler because all the other people didn't want to come back. So she's like ruling in their stead. And she's like, let's offer the daughter a spot at this high school so that she can be equal like everyone else. And then we also meet the daughter of Cinderella and Prince Charming. And one thing that was very confusing.
No?
What?
Cinderella sucks. That movie sucks.
Okay. But we
Well-
meet the daughter of Cinderella and Prince Charming. And the very
Yeah.
confusing thing about this is we have met the son of these two
Yeah, he was
characters.
he was like the main guy from the first one,
Yeah,
right?
he was in the first one. He's like a white guy with like blue eyes. And in this
He's
movie,
black.
no, in this movie, Cinderella is black and Prince Charming is Asian. So I have no idea how they made that child.
It's just multiple. He's adopted.
They're all adopted.
So my sister actually like knew all the lore, was very confused when we met these characters. So then
Didn't we meet like the parents in the first one and they
I
were
don't
white?
know. They might be retconning it. I'm not sure. Maybe they couldn't get
I
the
think they
original
probably
actors.
They're doing that Disney retcons to get some more inclusivity.
Okay. And then we meet their daughter. And her whole thing is that she's blue. So I'm just gonna call her Blue because I forget her name.
I think you should just call her Beck
And
Lyons.
then the other character, the daughter of the Red Queen, is just called Red. So there's Blue and there's Red, and I will not be referring to them by any other names.
You should be returning
um,
to Blue as Beck Lyons.
Okay.
And so,
So-
Beck, can I guess what happens?
What?
First, Blue and Red don't like each other, but then guess what? They work together.
Slightly.
You're wrong.
Okay,
Fucking
so-
retard.
Red is going to the main place with her mom. And then we meet. They meet Blue and Blue and her mom Cinderella, and we can see there's a ton of drama between them. And the Red Queen is like, they're all two-faced, they're evil. And the mom's like, back in the Red Queen went to this high school, and Cinderella's like, a mean prank was played on her, and now she's evil. And then
That's really
at the
funny.
opening ceremony of the school, Ursula's daughter's like, I'd like to welcome the Red Queen's daughter. But the Red Queen stands up and is like, what if I have a few words to say? She pulls out a
black
cards
people.
like fucking Gambit, throws them in the air, and all the cards turn into red soldiers and take over the castle and kidnap Cinderella and kill her.
Wow.
But then what turns out, there's like, the clock guy from Alice in Wonderland? He developed a stopwatch that can bring you back in time. So Red and Blue use the
Cinderella
stopwatch.
actually dies.
Yeah.
Good.
So they use the stopwatch to go back in time, and they get sent back in time, and they're like, oh, we're right before the dance where the Red Queen got bullied, and they meet her, and she's like so cheery, she's so happy, she's giving everyone cupcakes. And we're like, oh, so this prank is what turned her evil, so we need to make sure this prank never happens. And then we meet
In
the
fact,
villains.
It's the prank that made her good.
And then the villains, where you'd think, okay, I think it's Hades, it's Maleficent,
Ursula.
and then it's Ursula's sister, because they couldn't do Ursula for some reason.
Right. I forgot about Ursula's sister.
Yeah,
Gersula.
famously Ursula's sister that everyone knows.
Yeah.
But she's played by the girl from High School Musical the series, so that was really cool.
Olivia Rodrigo?
Not
Wait,
Olivia
is it like-
Rodrigo.
Wait, Beck, is it Morgana? Like, is Ursula's
Yeah.
sister from The Little Mermaid 2?
Yeah,
Return to the Sea?
I think that's her.
Interesting.
And they announced some villain I'd never heard of before. Turns out it was a villain from Sophia the First.
Oh, hell yeah!
You're
Sophia-
pulling out villains from Sophia the First?
Sophia the
You're
First?
running out. You're on the
Sophia
fourth
the
movie.
First. Sophia the First is kind of goated. It's actually like not that bad. I had cousins watch it like all the time. It's not
You
that
watched
bad.
Sophia the First?
Well, when my cousins were watching it, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
of course, your
sure.
cousins.
Your
Oh my God.
cousins.
I lived with my cousins for like 5 years.
Okay.
Your cousins.
So,
I like how they used the princesses in that movie as role models. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it
but
is
if they're
a
not
very-
Aiden, if they're not getting raped, it's no role model.
Oh my
you know?
god!
Oh my God.
You can just start.
Beetlejuice,
Fucking
Beetlejuice.
Tone it down. Tone it down. Ernie.
Oh no.
Beetlejuice.
Okay, so and then Blue and Red, they have to decide to work together.
No way.
And this is a musical, so they do have to sing about working together.
Actually,
Okay.
give me like 20 seconds. Let me pull this up. You're saying it's a musical.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me
and then-
one
and then, like,
second.
so the nice girl, the pink
Okay,
Queen
here we
of
go.
Hearts, yeah.
Did it have Did it have characters who act out and express their emotions and thoughts through song and dance?
Yes.
Did it have plots interrupted or moved forward by musical numbers?
Yes.
Did it have spectacular sets and settings such as Broadway theaters, fairs, and dramatic social or grand natural backgrounds or animated environments?
Yes.
Stuff like The Sound of Music,
What the fuck
1965,
is
or The
happening?
Gold Diggers,
He's reading
1933?
his film text.
Yes.
Love me some film comp.
Okay. So they have to decide to work together. But turns out the Pink Queen, which is the nice version of the Red
The
Queen,
Pink Queen.
she
What?
accidentally
Wait,
gave
what do they
the-
mean by that? What do they mean the Pink Queen is the nice version of the Red Queen? Because pink is when you add white to red.
And it's white.
Why?
Why isn't it the White Queen, who is already an established character from the?
Yeah,
cinematic
and what do they mean
So-
that the White Queen is the nicest one?
There's no Pink Queen. Who is the Pink Queen?
It's the Red
God, the
Queen.
Black
She
Queen must
wears
be
pink.
fucked.
Okay, I'm calling her the fucking Pink Queen. So, the Morgana accidentally the Morgana stole cupcakes from the Pink Queen and then turned into a flamingo. So now Morgana wants to get revenge on the Pink Queen, and we're like, oh, that's what the prank is.
This movie is not real, dog.
And then they go and figure out what the plan is, and they sneak into they're inside the belly of a giant whale, and they're talking about their plan, and their plan is to steal this book.
This movie never actually happened. It just was beamed into his head one
And
night
then
by fucking aliens.
we see there's some drama between the Pink Queen and Cinderella. So we're like, oh, this is pretty weird. What's happening here? Because like basically what they're hinting at throughout like the beginning of the movie and the middle of the movie is like the prank was played by Cinderella, and that's what turned the Pink Queen evil. Because like there's like so much drama between them.
That's
Okay.
So then they go in the fish and they sing about we need to get revenge, and they
We
find out
need
there's
to
this.
get revenge. We need to get revenge.
we need to
Is that
get
how they sing it?
revenge. We need to get
And
revenge.
then they find out there's this book that's in Merlin's study that like is a
Merlin,
cookbook.
you're bringing up Merlin now?
Yeah, Merlin, yeah. So Merlin has this cookbook that can make like evil spells.
Why?
And
Merlin's
then-
not an evil guy.
Well, like it's an evil book. And then Cinderella's
an
like,
evil
no, I
book.
don't want to steal a book from Merlin. That's evil. And then Cinderella sings to her is like, I am like kind of a slave working for my stepmother. Sometimes you have to do the wrong thing to do like a right thing. And then they both Red and Blue decide we have to sneak into the office to steal the book
No.
before the villains can. So they go,
Your mother hungers out. Hee 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 ha.
and then they go and they steal the book, and the villains get caught frozen. And now they have the book. And we're like, okay. And then me and my sister are like, okay, cool, this is where we're going. And we're like, we take a break, we pause the movie. We're like, wait, what the fuck? There's 11 minutes left? Where's the dance? Where's all this stuff happening? Turns out they fucking ran out of money. So after they leave the office, they're like, well, we have the book. Problem solved. Time travel back to the future. Everything's saved. Dance number.
Great.
Christ.
So they skip the entire whole thing they've been talking about the entire movie, which is this dance. They never show it. They never show the prank. They drop the entire Cinderella's the one that pulled the prank plot line. So I have to assume they fucking ran out of money. No sane screenwriter would end the movie there.
I know. Beck, a screenwriter did write Horizon, so.
That is true. Some guy did write Horizon. Well, I can't wait to watch this movie later this year.
Yeah, Beck is definitely going to
just
watch
have
it. When
to
did this
watch
come out?
it.
2024? Was this 2024?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was 2024. It came out in July. It was
Which
a
means I
Disney
will have
Plus
to watch it.
exclusive. Yeah.
And they didn't have enough money?
They fucking ran out of money so
You
obviously.
think they give them money for Disney Channel movies? Or for Disney Plus movies? They don't. They don't get money for
Like,
that.
they had to have been like halfway through production. They had to like panic end it, or like because like it was very clear they could have kept going, but they just put in one scene. We're being like, oh, we can just end it here, and then jump to the future. And the jump to the future scene was like meant to like come way later after the dance. Yeah, it was. It's like the most unfinished movie I've ever seen.
Sounds pretty good.
Wow. But does it hold up to the canon of the awesome original Descendants?
It is at least those ones were finished movies.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
okay,
it sounds like a sloppy mess that just not finished, and like I feel like even if it was when it wasn't finished, it just sounded like crazy, like throwing too many things in too many
yeah,
directions.
it's a sloppy mess, but I did have a lot of fun watching it.
I always finish really quickly.
All right. Well,
Let's get into the big movies.
To our
Now,
group stuff.
I have listed them in the order from least controversial to most controversial
great.
movies. So we will be starting off with the least controversial movie, Ryan's World. I'm pretty
I
sure
wasn't there for that, so
he
I'm
wasn't
still
there.
silent.
So Ryan's World, you guys, the audience is familiar with the
Ryan's toy
12-year-old
reviews.
Ryan's toy reviews and his YouTube channel.
You guys like
Child
Penny?
labor toy reviews.
I prefer
Now
the
we-
penny, the Lucky Penny toy reviews.
So
Me personally.
we don't know the lore of Ryan's World. Apparently, he has a superhero persona, and so does his sisters, and there's like characters and stuff. The movie's pretty garbage.
It does not
and-
explain any of these characters.
No, it doesn't.
The main villain's motivation
Oh yeah,
is that his sister became an iPad kid and watched Ryan's toy
Hey,
reviews.
but he's in the right. He's low-key in the right.
He literally is. And then he
yeah.
tries
He's
to
like, my
kill a
sister doesn't
12-year-old.
spend any time with me now.
His sister was 3 when she was given an iPad, and he's like 20 or something. I don't even know.
I mean, yeah, why did they give
Let's
a
have
kid...
a good motivation, bro.
Yeah.
You can tell the
Yeah,
screenwriters were like, yeah, we need to like prove to children they should stop being on their iPad.
But
Essentially,
we
this
should
movie is
also
like
have them keep watching Ryan's World.
Yeah,
this movie is kind of like a nothing very movie. It's like it does like the animation was surprisingly good, except for anything they animated with the mouths. That was
Yeah,
like
there was no lip
dubbing.
syncing.
It was crazy.
But yeah, because they go into a comic book, Ryan and his sisters, and then it becomes animated, and then the animation is surprisingly really good, and then the live action stuff is really bad. And
there's a
looks
character
like,
named Aiden, and every time Aiden did something, we looked at Aiden like,
yeah, it
Yeah,
was really
she was the
annoying.
best character.
Although she was the best character in the movie.
and this movie theater was entirely empty.
What was
Empty. It was just
And
Just
also, Aiden was made up for the movie. Every other character and person in the movie is already like
in the Ryan's toy
World.
lore.
Yeah, I think in the Ryan's toy lore. At least I can assume like all the superhero characters are.
Yeah, they would definitely
and-
not introduce all the people randomly.
But Aiden was a random person that was there and that was introduced as Ryan's best friend. Very
Yeah.
confusing.
Um,
One thing
I'm gonna
that
say
was
this.
pretty funny was like the Ryan's sisters are like 4 years old, and like their acting wasn't really good. So when they go to animate, they just swap to like completely different voice actors to voice the people.
Yeah.
but did they like list? Oh yeah, no, yeah. It was very funny. Because they were really entirely different. They were like adult women or something.
Yeah, it was
voicing.
like what they normally do for anime, where they have like adult women voice like girls.
So
Yeah.
Beck's review was the villain is brain rot, and that was liked by a guy who worked for sound on the movie.
Oh my god, yeah, no, someone on Letterboxd had like the funniest review. Wait, let me pull it up. It was like he had worked
I may
on
or
the
I may or may have not worked on the soundtrack for this, and let me tell you, Ryan's World Money is no joke.
This is the first theatrical film to focus on an internet celebrity since Fred the movie in 2010.
that.
Wow.
That's fucked up, man.
What was one thing that was interesting to me was like in the end they had like a post credit scene, and it was like showing like I think what the like show normally looks like, and the animation was so much worse. It was like you could tell it was like static models that were like moving around and like
Yeah,
puppets.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just like kind of like a nothing movie for kids, you know, and
Yeah.
that's kind of all the movie. It's like just nothing. I probably if I had a child, I would not even take the child to this.
I
Unless
would
they,
not.
like, really loved Ryan's toys for some reason. Yeah, watch the kid who's been forced to do this by his parents.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has
why would you allow your child to watch Ryan?
I will give the movie one credit. It has a very well made popcorn bucket.
I can't believe you got that.
I'm not
That's
just
great.
buying it. I looked at the employee's face and he started smiling.
I think he smiled because I saw you ask for it, and I said, "Come on, man, ain't no way." He looked at me
I've
and
been
was
thinking,
like,
what a fucking idiot! We have not sold a single one of these.
Yeah,
Finally an idiot buys
10-year-old
one.
saw me carrying it and started like laughing at me.
Guys, when Beck goes to college, he doesn't need like actual charisma. He just needs. I have the Ryan's toy bucket.
Popcorn bucket. It is just it pulls all the women.
Bro said charisma instead of Riz. What a cool guy. He
What
has
is
no
old? He's so
time.
old.
He has no time for shortened words.
I didn't want to say Riz. That was it would be.
That was too brain.
Okay, what's the
rotted.
next movie?
The next movie is gonna be Trap. I think we can all agree on Trap
Oh,
being
fucking
a
fire
very,
movie.
very solid fire movie. M. Night Shyamalan has a reputation of making either really good movies or really shit movies, and this one was really good.
I will. The one thing I want to say about it is like the premise. It kind of feels like kind of carried the entire movie. It's such a fucking interesting premise where like one
a very
guy has to
interesting premise.
avoid 30,000 cops in a concert and like
Yeah.
somehow escape.
And then he does.
Yeah, and then
And
it
the
kind of
movie's not
drags
over.
on too long once he gets out of the concert.
It
Yeah.
does.
That's
I'm
the
gonna
only
say
bad
this.
part about the movie. But like, I mean, it's still good. All of that stuff is still
Yeah.
good outside the concert, but it could have just ended earlier.
Yeah, because the thing is, the other stuff after the concert is kind of necessary for the movie to be kind of complete.
Yeah.
But I do want to say it was a really like fun ride for a movie. Like I enjoyed watching it a lot. I would say I do a few critiques of the movie. I do wish they could have played more with like the gimmick inside the concert more.
Yeah.
And I think they did a really solid like.
Wait, why are we
I
already
made-
talking about Trap?
Because we're going in order of least
Yeah, but nobody told me we were talking about Trap.
We literally
just
said
said
we're
we're-
moving on to Trap. You were just
No,
not paying attention.
No,
And it was just like a really fun, like kind of ride movie for the movie, and like I thought it was like a very kind of realistic kind of like pop star they had for the
very
movie, and,
realist. Oh, the pop star. Yeah.
and it was like a really enjoyable ride, and like I would say the movie personally, they do a little too many fake outs of him escaping.
Oh my god,
And,
it's like 4 separate cars in this movie.
Yeah. I
and
mean,
like
yeah.
and the final one is I mean I guess it kind of is fun that like. I know if it was like the biggest like thing to end on for the movie, he has
But they
another
need-
thing to escape with.
They needed a big
Another car.
twist. They needed a big twist. That was the
No,
big
but
twist.
I liked how smart he was.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like he's a serial killer with 11 deaths under his
12
belt,
kills.
12 kills, and he's like 4 steps ahead while also being 5 steps behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, literally,
He's
the
really
only-
good at being bad at being good.
The
Yeah.
only thing that went wrong was that his wife snitched on him. If the wife hadn't snitched, he could have gotten away with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unironically,
she-
this is one of my top 10 movies of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good movie, Nicola, but that's kind of a crazy take.
Of
This
my
guy's just
movies.
trying to fill it out so he can bump he can get Night at the Roxbury out of his top.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
No,
I
but
currently have 3 movies in my top 10 movies of all time, and
And they're
it's,
like all from this year.
and it's Night at the Roxbury's, Dune 2, and Trap.
But
And
no,
La La
it was
Land.
just like
Yeah, you put
I
La
mean,
La Land.
it was like a
that's
very-
Oh, I guess, yeah.
it was a very like fun like kind of movie because you it's through his perspective, so you don't know what's happening, and so you get to see it through his eyes, which is really fun.
About
And
his
this movie-
perspective, one thing I really liked, like I saw like a tweet about this that M. Night Shyamalan made, is the camera never gets closer to the stage than the characters. So like at the beginning of the movie,
really?
we're only seeing the like movie from like very far away and like the pop star from so far away. But as the movie moves forward, we get closer and closer to the stage. We get a closer look at her, and then like eventually we're like in a limo with her, and you actually get a good look at her. I thought that was a
Speaking
really
of-
interesting way to do it.
Speaking of that, like the cinematography of the movie was really impressive. Like the thing is, a lot of this movie is just like not like kind of angles, just full on straight on camera shots where the character is kind of looking not direct, kind of looking directly at the camera, but like looking at like a character. It like
No,
it builds up the
anyone-
creepiness.
No, anyone that he's talking to is looking up at the camera, down.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
It's always
The
he's
cinematography,
always looking
yeah.
down.
That's why, honestly, this is unironically kind of my top 10 movies because I feel like it's cinematically so good and the story is also really good.
like the
I
actions
just-
for the
those two
main
are the
guy
most
also like
important
the
things to me.
twitching.
And his acting is
yeah.
so good. And those
Nicola,
two
you
things
should
are like the
watch.
most important
You
things. for
should
me.
watch Sixth Sense. That's like M.
I
Night
have watched
Shyamalan's
Sixth
best
Sense.
movie.
Like a
and I
long
would say
time
the
ago,
acting,
but I
like,
have watched Sixth Sense.
obviously Josh Hartnett as like the butcher, our main character, the butcher. He's a fantastic actor. He was like great in this movie. The other acting was like fine. I enjoyed the kid acting. It was nice. The pop star pretty well, but his acting was phenomenal. In this
It blew
movie.
everything else out.
Yeah, he like
'cause he-
single-handedly made everybody else look like a worse actor.
And he was so calm and collected like the entire time. You
Yeah.
could tell like over the course of the movie he is slowly breaking, and then once the pop star makes it to his house, he's broken. He can't keep it together anymore.
Yeah.
And he's kind of lost. And
And like once
wrapped
he gets
so
to the
quickly.
to the dinner with the wife, and he's
Yeah.
just like he's like kind of defeated, but like at the same time he still is kind of like in control.
Yeah.
I know, and that was like such an intense part of the movie. I know, like me and Beck were kind of like next to each other, like we were like really intense about like.
I
what
was like
gonna-
I actually thought they might have ended the movie with a murder suicide.
Dude, I
knew he was gonna escape.
was just waiting for a twist, so I kept leaning over to Uri, just having like random theories. Like the FBI guy's his mom, the wife is the real murderer.
The wife
I
is the
was
real
just
murderer.
trying to I was just trying to find like the twist.
I did think they were like a murderer couple.
I thought
when-
that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's what I thought.
convinced the FBI agent was his mom.
No.
Yeah, I
was
know. For a long,
convinced.
I
No,
thought
his
that for a
first
while
kill
too.
was his mom. They say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like she survived, and then now he's hunting her son down.
He cuts them up into little pieces.
She put herself back
survived.
together. She put
And
herself
also-
back together.
Something
She
that
killed
we don't talk about in this movie,
Kugisaki.
like the fucking worker at the concert stadium.
Dude, Cooper's so funny.
He was so
Oh,
funny.
dude,
Without
yeah.
this movie, without him, there's no like movie because he finds out all his information from him, and then the post credit scene is so funny where the
This
guy finds
movie
out.
is really good at being a suspense movie while also having a lot of comedic.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, because I wouldn't really say this is a horror like or a comedy. This is very much like just a suspense movie. It's all about
Yeah.
the suspense, but
Yeah. Like
It does
I
have a
can
lot of
handle
really good
suspense
comedy
movies.
beats.
It's just horror movies that I don't like with like jump scares. Like I really like suspense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy was like a fucking sneaky ass motherfucker. He like
Everything he
stole
did.
things like very easily.
He
And, like,
walked through a room of SWAT and stole like a radio and
Cards.
Ian stole a cup of coffee. Did you not notice that?
and like dude, he fucking like the last thing like he managed to steal like one of those like the
bike
metal
spoke.
rods
He
from
was
the
able
bike.
to steal a bike
Yeah.
spoke while
Oh,
just
yeah.
all we saw him do was put it up because of his OCD.
yeah.
And one of the things I really want to find out, I want someone to make a video on this. How much would like the police operation in this movie cost? Like, how much money did they spend? 3,000 cops, 8 SWAT cars, like locking down an entire concert. I want to know how much money they
Having
spent
to-
to catch this guy.
having
Your
to-
tax dollars
having
at
to-
work.
Having to prep every single person
Yeah.
Oh my
that worked
God.
at the venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And, like,
for some
like,
reason-
also all the legit-
again.
Like also
Yeah.
all the logistics of the concert people within conjunction with that. Like also, guys, the FBI people, they were like terrible at their job in this movie. That was really funny.
I don't think they
I
were
don't
terrible.
think they were
he was
terrible. I
just
think he was
really
just that much
good.
better.
I don't know. They were
Like he gets backstage by way of like convincing the uncle of the performer, and then he gets on stage, and then once he's on stage, a girl collapses, and he's like, "Oh, I could get further backstage."
No,
by
well, I
being
mean, it's
a
part of
good
that.
really-
person.
No, that
then
wasn't
he's
to
a
get
good
further
person, gets
backstage. That was
backstage.
because the worker, the ID person came,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, she might actually be able to spot me, so I should just find a way to get away."
And then he gets
And get out
further
of sight.
backstage, and that
Yeah.
helps him.
Yeah.
And then he realizes he's roped into a corner unless the singer lets him out.
Yeah.
And so he has
Yeah.
to show his cards.
So
to get
basically,
out,
yeah, when he finally got to
which
the
is
end,
super impressive.
I was not expecting him to reveal to her that
I didn't
he's-
expect that either.
I did not.
I thought
expect
he
that.
was just gonna have like another like.
My daughter
Have
has
another, like,
leukemia. Can she ride in
brain
your limo?
I thought he was just gonna kill her. To be honest.
Yeah. Also,
No,
that
I
too.
thought he was gonna steal her inhaler. She collapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gave
And then
so much
ambulance.
emphasis on that part where she had the inhaler. I really thought that was
They
gonna
were
come
gonna do
into play.
something.
Yeah.
It's like a
But
red
I
herring,
think
though.
I think that's part red herring, but that also might be like the moment because like he said later that like while seeing her, he got the urge to kill her, and I was like thinking maybe that's the part.
Oh
like,
yeah,
that was
because
the
the
moment.
She like has like a problem with her. She's not perfect. It's seeing
Yeah.
her have like this weakness.
And it
Yeah,
was like that's the
one-
moment that gave him
One
that
thing
urge.
I liked was he never like killed anyone to escape. Like
Yeah,
he didn't just like,
Yeah. There's only one person that's like gets severely injured, but other than that, nobody dies in this movie.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. Which is funny because he's like a serial killer, and that's kind
Yeah,
of like
because like it's realized they couldn't overpower a cop, you know, like couldn't just like
And that's-
choke out one of the FBI officers and escape.
Did you watch
except for the fucking
the
ending
last
where he
15
like he
minutes?
manages to
where
take
Okay,
he
20
is-
like,
That's because they
where
were
he
going
is
like
sedated.
non-lethally.
No, I was correction really quickly. I thought it was cyanide. He says in the end that it's not cyanide. It's just like a sedative. It's to calm the people down. So while he's sedated and tased 3 times, he still keeps moving like a fucking bull moose, tackles a guy and gouges his fucking eyes out.
That guy is like
Yeah.
the most unlucky guy in this entire movie because he was just trying to do his job and they're like, we have to get this guy non-lethal. He's like, fuck.
No, he's just gonna pull an Omni-Man and he's gonna be fine.
they kind of just needed to kill this guy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, it
and
was
they
like
were
a-
using guns all the time. I don't know why in that one specific time they
Well,
wanted
because
to
they
take him
thought they
alive.
could take him non-lethal.
Yeah, but why
Yeah.
would they want to take him non-lethally?
Because it's better.
but no, it's
Because killing people is bad.
He's
But,
killed
like-
12 people.
I would say maybe if you think like more like very more of the technicalities of this movie, you could probably find some things that kind of break or something. But like overall, like a really fun service, really great acting.
still, I
it's
still am
enjoyable.
saying that, like, I know they thought he was going to pull the fire alarm and that's why he didn't do it. But I'm still saying he is a fireman. He pulls the alarm. The fire people come. There's no way the cops are going to stop and question the fire people while there's like an active fire situation going on. He comes there and he goes back with the fire
It's a
people.
fake fire.
And no one
I
would have
guess,
believed
yeah.
him too, that he is actually a firefighter.
But he
Like,
is
who
an
would
actual firefighter.
Yeah, but
he would
like,
probably know those
He
people.
didn't have any. Yeah, but no, that's not how it works. All firefighters don't know each other.
Yeah, but are you saying he's not? The concert is not
All
like in his
firefighters
general
know each
area.
other.
He also, if by going by that logic, he could have just used the fact that he's a firefighter on the like cops and stuff, and say, "Hey, I'm a firefighter. I have roof access because I'm a firefighter." Right?
Yeah.
No, because he was off duty. The whole thing is that he would like help. Okay,
Whatever.
But enjoyable ride and a really good movie.
That's
and
what I
like
say when I
this is a
see
movie
him
that
that
probably
day.
I would rewatch a lot. I think.
Yeah, I'd rewatch it.
Next one is gonna be Coraline.
Fire movie.
What is
What
there
is
really
there
to
to-
say about
Yeah,
Coraline?
it's-
I
it's-
think
it's a
animated.
15. It's a 15-year-old movie. Not much to say. It's still goaded.
It's really, really, really good.
I just
Please
wanna
go
say,
watch
like,
Coraline.
The
It's in
stop
my
motion
top
was
10 of all
insane.
time.
Like,
Yeah.
when
And
you like,
I really like how they recreated the dolls 15 years later. That's really cool.
Yeah.
when you understand like that they had to like change everything frame by frame, you're just like, how the fuck did they make this movie?
How many
Watching it-
frames are in
I watching
Watching
Coraline?
it
Blown
so
away.
soon, rewatching it so soon after, you can pick up on every single frame way more. Like you can see the different hairs moving between the frames.
There are
and facial
144,000
thing
frames in Coraline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long does it take to shut up each frame?
At least 10 minutes, dude. At least.
And you have to
At
like,
most
move
4
all
hours.
the separate environment and different people if they're in it. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
But
it's
it
an
does
amazing
have like an
movie.
insanely unique style. And I love like how uneasy the like first time you go to the other world is, and then you have like all like the scariest parts of it come true. It's like a really fucking scary movie.
It's
Especially
I
for
would
children. I ordered the book. It should be coming like this next week.
I also think
So
stop motion was the best like way to do it. Like the models work so good for this style of horror.
Yeah. But I ordered the book, so hopefully next week I can like tell us what the like differences are. I know one big difference is that YB is not in the book. And they invented him for the movie because Coraline talks to herself in the book and just monologues to her and the cat. And they're like, we should probably put another human in here for her to talk to. So that's why he's there.
to give another 100,000 frames to anime.
True. But such a good movie. I've seen it so many times it's lost its wonder.
Wow.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
How many times?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
Guys, the rapist is in Multiverses.
What? Oh yeah.
What?
They added
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice to multiverses.
Okay, next movie.
Next movie is gonna be Alien Romulus.
Okay, let's talk about Alien fucking
You
Romulus.
guys can give
Alien
your
Romulus.
positive perspective on it. I'm gonna give my fucking I was shitting my pants during the movie
So
perspective.
yeah, so we're finally at a little bit of a divisiveness. We all, me, Beck, or me, Uri, and Nick. No, Nicola and Beck gave it the same rating.
Yeah. What movie was it?
Alien Romulus.
Alien Romulus.
Alien.
Yeah.
But also, Nick
So-
gave The Lighthouse 4 stars, and that's just like best movie of all time.
That's not my best movie. I've never said that's my best movie of all time.
Okay, well I guess
Hey,
it's
I think you know
Rock.
the-
I
Hold
just
on,
said
Nicholas.
it's a must watch.
In fact, you know
Anyway,
the best movie of all time for Nicholas, not Roxbury.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had The Rock.
Yeah.
So how could that be my best movie of all time if I
I
already
was
have an answer? to
testing
that?
the resolve.
anyway, so Alien Romulus is like the first Alien movie if they made it again.
But better.
But I mean, I don't know if it's better, but more of the same. I think.
Like more, I guess more like technically better. Like
Yeah.
with CGI and all that stuff.
Visually,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's not really much to say plot wise. It is kind of just the movie.
One
Yeah.
thing I want to say is I have never seen an alien before. I don't know
Yeah.
I didn't know the difference between a face hugger, a chest burster, and a xenomorph. But I feel like this movie was really good at explaining how they all work.
The face hugger go on the person.
Isn't it a
I
chest
thought
burster
there
or
was
just
3
become a
separate
xenomorph?
aliens.
And then
Oh,
they get-
do you actually
they
know the
get pregnant, and
controversy
then
of this movie though? Is that the
Birds.
the broken android, the AI guy, or
Yeah.
the guy that's like half dead from the
Rock,
first
yeah.
movie? They recreated it because the actual guy isn't alive. They recreated him using AI.
Oh,
And it's a big
Oh,
controversy.
I didn't
for it, 'cause
notice.
They used AI.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But also he was a
Didn't hear it.
robot, so I mean like it not being perfect makes some sense, you know?
But also,
Yeah.
like, that's just unethical.
It is
to do
unethical.
that.
I mean
Hey,
it depends
we're
like if you
unethical
have like
guys.
the approval of the estate, you know, all
Yeah.
that. I don't know the
But,
situation behind it.
but removing all that stuff, it's like a pretty like I mean I don't get like that scared from like horror movies or anything like that. But like
Yeah, neither
I was
do
not like
I.
I wasn't. Beck,
Yeah.
shut up. I was not like jumping on my seats, but there were,
It
like,
was
few times,
not
like,
that scary until the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not a horror guy. It was suspenseful the whole time, and then in the last 10 minutes, here's what happens. So, there's
She
a
gives
pregnant.
birth
There's a
to
pregnant
where's
lady.
my phone?
Hold on. There's a
She
pregnant
goes on
lady.
Accutane
Hold
mom
on.
birth,
Hold
basically.
Hey,
on.
look, shut the fuck up.
There's a pregnant lady in this movie, and she is dying because a xenomorph stabbed her. And so she injects herself with xenomorph DNA to hopefully heal her, but actually it doesn't, and it kills her, or it doesn't kill her, but then it fuses with her baby, her fetus, and she gives birth to an alien human hybrid monster abomination, which is kind of like a note taken out of Alien versus Predator, where or like a xenomorph face hugs the predator, and then there's a predator alien hybrid. So it's kind of in that same kind of vein, which is kind of cool, but it's creepy.
It is.
Nicholas,
It's
show us the
so
visual.
fucking. Literally, I saw that. I thought I was gonna throw up. Like literally, I was
Really?
like, if there was a toilet next to me, I'd throw up.
Wow.
Give me
You had-
one
you had-
second to pull
well-
up the visual.
So
So it's just played by this guy in a suit.
it is.
It's literally just this guy wearing a
Holy
suit.
shit, it really is, isn't it?
It was played by this guy. This guy's a 7-foot tall basketball player from Romania.
He's so
He
skinny.
has, that's kind of like, I think it's an issue. It's some type of issue. But he
Huh.
basically, I think it was very minimal to no CGI. And it was just him wearing the suit.
Wow.
But before he became that, he basically the baby basically just looked like
Slender.
the warning on the Accutane bottle of what happens if you're pregnant and you have Accutane.
Shit, Nicola, did your mom have Accutane when you were pregnant with you?
Shut the fuck up, you stupid.
Okay.
fucking-
I haven't watched an alien movie before, so I just
You should.
seeing the alien design was really cool. I like the way it's designed. I feel like just
Yeah.
the xenomorph.
I think it's too dark in the movie. I think the
It is a
movie is
bit
too dark and doesn't really lend itself to having the xenomorph be that dark.
Another issue in this movie I have, also the darkness, but like there are some words that I just couldn't hear what they're saying.
Oh
some
my
of the
god,
time,
the
you
guy
know?
with that heavy British accent. There's something in the
Why
water.
do you-
The water.
The fuck are there British people in space?
Yeah.
And so there was like sometimes I would want like some subtitles at some certain moments in the movie, but overall, like it's like I don't watch a lot of horror, but when I do, I don't even get that scared. But this movie, a few like good kind of like jumping, but next to the motherfucker next to me, is like,
The guy next to me was on
Yeah,
his phone
dude.
for the first like 10 minutes of the film.
Dude, that
Yeah.
fucking guy next to you was freaking out. It was crazy.
no, Beck, I'm talking about you.
Uh-oh.
Now, Beck, I wonder. So this is what I'm gathering from you. For
Yeah?
you see it as a good movie, but it scared you too hard, and that makes you more of a negative perception. Is that right?
Yeah. I just don't fuck with horror movies, bro.
I don't either. This is not even like that horror of a movie. It's just suspenseful with one real jump scare.
Yeah.
Like the face thing at the end, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was
One
freaking
thing I
out.
thought,
Because keep in mind, we did do D-box seats for this. So when there was a jump
the
scare,
D-Box so good.
It was good.
All the low gravity
Oh my-
scenes were really.
I think the
good
low
and-
gravity scenes were like the most creative. Like there's a scene where like she has to like navigate zero-G acid. It was so cool.
Mhm. Oh, that was really cool. The CGI in this movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
One thing that was also really cool is that the ship that they're on, the Romulus, is set to crash into the like asteroid belt
Yeah,
in
which
an
sets a
hour.
timer for the entire movie.
It sets a timer for the movie, and it follows the movie. An hour later, it actually crashes.
Yeah, that's great
Wow.
attention to detail.
I mean, I actually don't know if it's the full hour, but when they
No,
like,
but
the
it
section
was, 'cause I was
30
thinking-
and 15 minutes,
Because when they-
right?
Because I was
when they say
thinking,
20 minutes, they say 20
Yeah, they
minutes,
said-
and then 20 minutes later, and then 10 minutes. I checked my
yeah,
phone
because that
again,
would be
and it
like
was 10
each
minutes since
scene
they
was
last
about
said it.
15 minutes, and then like every 15 minutes it did say that like 15 minutes had passed. So I feel like it was pretty accurate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the attention to detail in this movie is like really cool, and like
Mhm.
all the tech stuff is really awesome. And it was like for me, I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't enjoy it as much as like I gave it a higher score than Trap, but I didn't enjoy it much. But just technically, I just love this movie and like all that stuff.
Yeah,
It was a really enjoyable movie.
Both have been like best movies of the year.
definitely.
Yeah, and you know the guy next to me was perpetually like this.
Yeah, Vec?
Yeah, that fucking guy. I hate him.
Fucking bird that I hate. That
was
fucking bird that I
I
hate.
was vibing. I was like, wow, this movie's really
Okay,
good.
we need to. What did that pissed me off was, I like before the movie wanted to get some dibs, like
Oh, yeah.
dibs, and then
Yeah.
as the movie started, the lights went off. Uri grabbed my hand that was holding my container of dibs and went like fucking this, and I'm like, bro, fucking stop the dibs.
No, it's
It was
dibs.
fucking annoying.
I needed to get back started to get ready for the
He was
movie.
fucking
That's
spilling
just
all
a
my
dick move.
dibs.
That's just like the
I
worst
did- I
person to go to
know.
the movies with.
I did scare Beck during Coraline though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a scene where Coraline gets jump scared by the dogs when she goes down to Big Ass and Big Boob Lady, and when it happened, I like leaned over and shook him.
Yeah.
Beck's just a very shakeable guy.
Yeah, that's
He is
why
a
I
very
don't like
shakeable-
horror movies.
Yeah.
Um,
So-
next movie.
Next movie, Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Oh my
Actual
god.
peak film.
Also not very divisive.
Not very
Turns
divisive.
out, guys, this
We-
movie's pretty good.
We agree on like 7 of the 8 of these films, I think.
The thing is about this movie, I feel like I kind of liked it when we finished watching, but now I'm just thinking about it, it was like a fine movie for me now, and
No,
like
it
yeah,
was
I'm
pretty
not
good.
I was a bit like in the moment when
yeah.
I
Because
think we were
it-
all just really surprised that it was good.
It was
yeah.
yeah, because it was kind of like as Aiden said, it was kind of like an elf movie, you know.
Dude, it literally is Elf.
Yeah.
It has Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah.
But no, it's an enjoyable like kids movie. I think it's like a really good like solid kids movie. I probably wouldn't have watched it in theaters if I wasn't with Aiden. But it was like just an enjoyable, like nice solid movie that it's not like the strongest like motivations for like characters or anything like that, but it's just a nice like I guess adaptation. I don't know.
Legacy
I think it was-
sequel.
I think it was nice to like, yeah.
It
definitely
is
the
really
legacy
funny.
of
This was
Harold.
Aiden's like most hyped movie, and he missed the intro that was literally just recapping the book.
I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Bro has a weak bladder. Bro's 50 years old.
But I do want to say the character that is like the best in this movie is the villain. This guy is
Yeah.
so funny in any scene. So it's
So his motivation is that he wants
He wants to fuck the guy's
Lord
mom.
of the Rings.
He's basically
Uh,
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, he wants his Lord of the Rings ripoff to be real, and also wants to have sex with Zoe Deschanel. So he's the most real.
he is. This dude is so fucking relatable. He's just like me.
Yeah. He's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And like surprising, like everyone in this movie's good. Like everyone, all the acting's really good. The costume design is amazing for some reason. Like the human design of Moose and Porcupine are like, how did you manage to get the costuming so on point? And like Harold has different outfits, but they always are like is like blue jumpsuit or like blue on top and bottom, and it's like, this is really good.
Yeah.
Like, everything about it was right.
However, I'm seeing kind of like a Morbius treatment for this movie because I'm seeing like not a lot of people
Oh
liking
my god,
this
I
movie.
am seeing
100 per
the Purple
billion
Crayon has made
dollars.
$1 per billion dollars.
$1
purple time.
dollars.
I just scrolled down on Letterboxd. The first review I see is that was funny when the plane crashed into those 2 tall buildings.
Yeah.
God.
It did.
And
They
then
did
the
almost do a 9/11
And then
one.
the next one is makes me want to shove a purple crayon up my ass. This
It is funny that the villain just fucking chomps on the crayon and just gets magic powers. That was pretty funny.
And then they just lock him into his own world, and he gets rejected in his own world. It's
He
crazy.
does get a good ending.
Bro is the ultimate cuck.
it's really funny though.
It
It's
is
good.
that he literally that guy is like the best bitch. He's the best part of the movie. I think that's all for Harold.
I think so. Next is gonna be Borderlands.
Okay, second worst
I
of the
love
8. I
this
It's
think.
movie.
the greatest
If anybody
movie.
says they don't love this movie, they are wrong, and I will not take the slander.
This movie is
Third
the
worst
greatest movie
movie.
ever made. It made $100 billion.
$250 million.
Yeah.
It
Um,
didn't even make 10 million, dude.
The
Borderlillion
Coraline
dollars.
re-release has made more money than Borderlands.
Okay,
In
but
its
that's
opening
Coraline.
in its opening week.
Yeah.
I'll just say this about Borderlands: nothing about this movie works in the slightest bit.
No.
The comedy's off. The characters because I researched a bit after the movie, like a bit of the characters. None of the characters are like well cast.
Oh my god.
No.
I had one of my friends who's actually played Borderlands, and it's like the guy Kevin Hart is supposed to be the stoic, serious guy.
Yeah,
who,
like the
doesn't
straight
make
man,
a lot of
you know?
jokes. Yeah, he's the straight man. and they
Wow.
cast Kevin Hart as him.
Yo, Kevin Hart. That's awesome. I love Kevin Hart.
This movie is like I don't know who this movie is like for. Like the whole quest does not make sense in this movie, and like
Yeah.
nothing about this movie is like funny, interesting, or engaging. It's like it's like the epitome of like kind of a nothing video game movie.
Yeah. My friend, who's like a big Borderlands fan, said when he watched the trailer, he got sad. Like anytime seeing this trailer, he would just get sad. He like couldn't watch it.
Nicola, you're getting sad?
But I think
It's not.
I think it would have
What?
worked better because like the whole thing with Borderlands is it's like this comic book style game. So I feel like if they try to do like an animated comic book style of it, I feel like it would work good or at least be visually interesting.
Yeah, it could have been good if they made it good, but then they forgot to do that.
Yeah.
so it
I also
was
feel
not-
like my favorite character, just from the little I've seen of her, is Tiny Tina, just like in the games. But I feel like they did
Yeah.
her really bad in the movie, you know? It kind of just didn't feel like her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
none of the characters really kind of like. I haven't done a lot of Borderlands, but they just don't feel like the characters or anything like that. Just a
Yeah.
little I know. And like this movie, just like fundamentally on like just on a functional level, does not work as a movie. You know.
no, not at all.
It feels like you need to know
And-
stuff from the games, but also it's trying to like tell you all the stuff about the games.
You need to know stuff from the games, but if you knew stuff from the games, you'd be disappointed with how they're doing the stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
And just like just a bad nothing movie. And,
Everything about it didn't. Nothing really worked.
I think
Yeah.
it is on track to be one of the biggest flops in cinematic history.
they had a fucking Axe body spray in the movie.
They did. That was the funniest part.
And they
It's
just have
so
a guy. And
obvious. I thought it was gonna be like tiny in the
it's
background.
dead center in the
It's dead
frame.
center.
That's super impressive to have missed that.
Yeah.
It had to
you
have been
t-
intentional at that point.
Like but like what a weird ad sponsor for that
And
movie.
the
like,
freaking
I don't
what's
think
it
it was
called?
an ad. I think it was
someone
left-
just left their their Axe body
And
spray in the scene.
just the
know
one
how
guy
it
that
could
just
been
has
anything else.
and the obvious helper
It's
to
like-
open the hatch in the
Oh
bullet
yeah.
scene.
It's like the coffee cup
And the
from Game
one
of
person
Thrones.
before the club scene who was just in regular street clothing. They were just in a shirt and pants.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know how
you can
that-
also you could see some like the camera crew in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also just a very kind of sloppily made movie.
Blatant
And the
cash
CGI
grab.
looks terrible.
Yeah, it
um,
looks like the Furiosa.
What?
It looks like
Looks
the
like-
Furiosa driving.
Yeah, the action is not very good and does look like.
You're hurting Beck. This is Beck
Yeah.
loves
You are
Furiosa.
hurting my
I
feelings,
would-
Aiden.
I
I
did
really
not
liked
like
Furiosa. And you called this
Well, yeah.
worse than Furiosa. Oh, better
Yeah,
than Furiosa.
I did not say it was better than.
You said the
Furiosa,
fight.
actually.
You said the fight scenes were better than Furiosa.
I said that
Okay,
they were
but that's-
as good, or at least that is what Furiosa's.
Next movie.
Next movie is gonna be Didi.
D. Me and Beck.
Eek!
This movie is so relatable.
We call it
No,
peak D.
No,
I
this
did not.
me and Beck, where this was like me and Beck's movie of the summer. We were so hyped for this movie, and I feel like it really lived up to to what our expectations were. Because like this movie is like so insanely relatable
Yeah.
to our lives,
It
specifically
fucking
since
takes place in the Bay Area, bro.
Bay Area.
They go to a golf course I went to when I was their age. It's
Yeah.
fucking
I went there.
crazy.
I go there all the time. What do you mean that you went there when you,
Well,
you
like,
were there?
I like,
You've never.
I still go there, but like, I went there when I was like in 8th grade.
Okay.
Like, I remember
so a
very
lot of-
clearly going there in 8th grade.
A lot of the conversations he has with his friends in the movie feels like real conversations I've had with my
Oh
friends.
my god, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And like just this character, he feels like, and like hearing it, like there's this whole this environment of like like SATs and prep PSATs and like all like tutoring, and like that's something I've heard so much in like this kind of area we live in, and like this movie is like such a relatable
Speaking of
movie.
which, I got
can't
the
even-
SAT on Saturday.
This movie is so relatable. I don't know how much more I can say about
Yeah,
its relatability.
I love the stuff they do with like the siblings and the family. Like,
Yeah, because
just-
the entire family relationship was like exactly like my family. Like the grandparent constantly trying to get them to eat, the relationship with the sibling, the way the mom and the grandparents are communicating. It's just like it actually felt so.
I love how like the
relatable.
sibling isn't just like they fight and then at the end of the movie they decide, oh, we gotta make up. It's like they fight and then they have like a sweet moment together and they fight again. It's like just
The
ups
ebb
and
and
downs.
flow, you know?
And it's also like because the sister realized that like, oh, she's leaving, and the impression she's leaving with the brother is that
Yeah.
she's like,
he's always mean to
and she
her.
also kind of recognizes that he's having like a troubling time in his life right now.
Yeah.
And she kind of like wants to help him because she like she drives him to like the skater kind of like the skate park with like his friends, I guess. It was like, let's talk, well, the movie is like about so it's an like an Asian kid before in his last summer before he goes to high school, and he wants to like get like he's like explore his life more, like he tries to like get a girlfriend, and he fumbles that girlfriend so hard it's crazy.
No,
Yeah.
I think he didn't fumble that bad.
Yeah, Beck, you would know a thing or two about fumbling.
I
They
know.
played the nervous game and he said he was nervous.
He broke his dick.
You
You're
don't.
just not real enough.
But no, and like
Oh, that-
this movie does have a lot
It
of
was
those kind of
really
like
funny because earlier in the day when we were at lunch, Erd was like, let's play the nervous game, and then
Yeah.
fucking came back in Didi somehow.
no,
Beck-
dude. Why do you think I know the nervous game? I watched the Didi trailer and they put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, he definitely pre-gamed that shit.
Yeah.
No, but no, the thing is,
For
this
the
movie is
game.
like this movie is like so poignant and like so like just like amazingly real, and like there is like
and so amazingly real.
and so they have a lot of those like sort of these like kind of like these cringe moments that feel like very organic though, but it's like also feels like a movie. Is like the moment where it's like he has to show his friends, like his new skate friends, like what he filmed. I was so panicked for him.
Yeah,
I
that was
knew-
the real horror and suspense film.
I like
No.
how they were actually good film. They were
Yeah.
filmed well the first time we see them, and then when we actually go back and rewatch them, they're actually dog shit.
Yeah.
They're good people.
And,
What do you mean? What?
Huh?
What did you just say?
When he films the skate guys,
Why are you talking so slow?
And why are you
When
talking so
he-
quietly?
when he films the skate guys, when he's actually doing it, the filming is good and professional. Then we see it with the other skate guys, it's bad.
Yeah.
And I like how
Okay,
those
that's
skate
not
guys
what I
weren't
heard
really.
you say the first time.
I like how those skate guys weren't really like bad guys, but he was just like
Yeah,
he
because
was like
I thought what
They
I
were
heard was
they were
Aiden
like,
say
why
that
are you yelling at your mom? You know.
because what I heard the first time is Aiden saying, at first we thought they were good guys, but then they were actually bad guys. And I'm like, that's not what happened in the film.
No. They were really chill.
Yeah.
Because he just tried to act cool and then he was too cool.
Yeah, and then he was
He
yelling
ate
at his
the
mom, and they
fucking
were like,
roach.
no. They
Yeah,
were
why
like, no,
yelling
don't
at
yell
your
at your
mom?
mom.
She's just trying to help.
Bro, he ate the
Yeah.
roach.
And then you could also see like he has a lot of this movie like it's sort of like tragic in a way, like in the fact they like he like the way he views himself in the movie, because like in the movie they do a lot of these references to his internalized racism in the movie, where he say like, you know, to his mom, you're so Asian, or like he downplays his Asianness by saying I'm only half Asian, because earlier in the
Yeah.
movie
And he's
he's like
Chris.
his
He
girlfriend
goes
was
by
like
Chris
you're
as well instead of his.
yeah, he gets rid of like the Didi, and like his girlfriend says you're kind of cute for an Asian, and
Ooh,
and,
yeah.
like it shows how he's like he really like he these comments are kind of like burning in his head that he kind of like hates himself, and I thought that was like really such a powerful part of the film, that the way he sort of like views himself and sort of wants to detach from that identity, even though it's a part of himself.
And then
you know?
at the end, he accepts it by like writing his name.
His full name, Chris Wang.
Chris
Instead of
Titan.
like instead of like keeping like Wang Wang or like Didi, he just Chris Wang. And I thought that was like how name plays a very part in your identity, and like the different versions of himself, or the different like, because like he had like with his skater friends he was Asian Chris, or like with his older friends he was like Wang Wang. But then and for his mom he was Didi. And so like we just kind of like but this his new like regular the new version of himself is like just Chris Wang, you know, just accepting his full part of himself. And I thought it was really funny when he came back to the girlfriend at the end of the movie, and so like, so can we get back together? And she was all like, no, you punched my friend.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
so like he should have stood his ground there, because like he 100% deserved to stand his ground.
She
Go
fucking
called him a
yeah. She like snitched about like an embarrassing moment he had.
he called bro, he was called gay. That's a respectable crash out.
Yeah. And just like such a like raw and honest movie, and I love it. I'll probably watch it. It's like one of my favorite coming of age movies I think I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
I just love coming of age stories.
Huh?
And this
huh?
was
Huh?
what?
He loves coming.
In age?
What
I
age?
love coming of age stories, and
Yeah.
and I really like this one.
Yeah,
One
because
thing that was crazy to me that has stayed in my mind was Aiden saying, "Guys, this movie isn't relatable to me because my parents don't hate me." I'm like, Aiden, what the fuck?
also they don't hate him in the
Explain.
movie.
The parents
No, I
loved
was-
him in the movie.
Yeah,
That's the
whole
specific
thing.
part of the movie, Aiden, that his mom loves him.
Yeah,
I know. No, hang on. That's not what I mean when I say that. What I mean when I say that is that I'm not an Asian boy in 2008.
What?
Aiden, we can
No,
tell.
I am.
This movie did not click with me at all.
I don't know how.
No,
It's because he's not a first generation.
I think he was just kind of stupid.
Bro's just
Was
not a
not
first generation.
Bro,
He's
Bro
not
wants the
stupid.
eighth grader to act like an adult, bro. That's how eighth
No,
graders act.
I didn't. Eighth graders don't go to a party and then do 8 shots of vodka and then eat a fucking joint.
Bro, bro has never
Bro.
lived.
Bro has never lived.
Bro has never gone out once in his life.
Yeah.
Um,
Didn't
I've
click
done
with
at
me.
least like 6 shots already
Again.
in
What
a
do you
night.
Aiden,
You're
Aiden,
not
I
a
didn't even
first-
click with you.
You're not a
Because-
first. You're not a first generation. You just wouldn't understand.
Aiden, we have literally had those conversations him and his friends had in the movie.
Yeah, but he also loses all of his friends in like 5 minutes. Because he's just an asshole.
He's not.
Bro does not
he's
understand the struggle
He's
of being a
not the
first
asshole.
generation.
Oh my
American.
god.
What do you mean he's not? He stops hanging out with his friends to hang
They
out.
rejected him
They
with the
rejected
card.
him. Did you not watch the fucking golf land scene?
I did.
No,
And then
okay,
he-
but they reject. Okay, no.
Hey,
No,
I
but
love
they-
these
they-
3 of us. We were doing great.
Yeah, they did that because he called the girl a bitch. What?
yeah.
He was an
but he was
asshole
like-
during that.
I don't know.
And we understand he was an asshole because he was upset about
But he
his-
was
about
already distant
freaking out about the
before
girl.
at the party. Remember?
Yeah.
and then
Bro
he
did
loses
not
it
watch
all.
the movie.
Bro did not
But,
watch
no,
the movie.
Yeah, I don't know, Aiden. I think you might be on the wrong for this one.
Well, I didn't like it that. I mean, I like it was good. It's a very good movie. It just didn't click with me.
Bro is just
And
not
that's
a
fair,
first generation
that's fair.
American. I've said it
And
time
everyone
and
has their
time
own taste.
again.
I think.
Bro is
I know.
not
I think
a
maybe.
first generation American. I've said it time and time again. Bro does not understand the struggle.
I feel like no, that's fair that you don't like that. You liked it, but it didn't like click enough for you as it did for us. I know me and Beck were really hyped for this movie, and like we really feel like Beck's review of this movie is like this is me for real.
It's literally
and,
me.
And I could it for me and I guess Beck and Nicola it felt really like us because especially this is the Bay Area, and so it was like even more so, you know.
Yeah, I had those
Yeah.
fucking cringe ass conversations and like the same
What I-
insecurities. It hits so close to home.
After the movies, after that day was done, I went home and played the first Emily is Away.
Yeah.
And you know what? I feel like that made the movie better. Playing a game that's not related at all.
No, because you're doing
Bro, just-
you're doing like the chat messaging that was in the movie.
Yeah. It felt like I was playing as Didi.
That's
if
why I
that
got
makes
him to
any
do
sense
it.
to-
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all.
Um,
I just felt like I was continuing the movie, but from a later stage in life. than the movie.
Interactive movie.
One
It was
thing-
very weird to have played play a game that was based on the movie of the time period that we just watched that was kind of in a way.
Yeah.
I
Which
don't
kind of enhanced
know.
the movie.
Okay, one thing that I hate about doing these double features, quadruple features, is sometimes a movie just fucking hits you emotionally, and you like.
and then you
need
have to
just,
go
like,
walk into Harold and the Purple
No,
Crayon.
and then you have yeah.
Or no, I guess the better thing is
Literally.
sometimes a movie hits you super emotionally and then you have to walk into Didi.
No,
Yeah.
it hit me so hard. I wanted to just go, like, sit down, think about it, like, process
And cry.
everything, and we immediately sprint into it ends with us.
And then we're hit with fucking rape.
We're not talking about it ends
It's
with
not
us yet.
next, but I just want to say
It's not.
that's what I didn't really like about doing these quadruple features. Is after that movie, I wanted to just go, like, home
And
and
cry.
like process it, but I couldn't do that. I had to sit through it ends with us.
That's
You didn't-
fair.
You didn't use It Ends With Us to process the previous movie instead of watching It Ends With Us?
That's fair.
Guys,
Also, I
Beck just
hate
needs to
to
cry
say-
all the time after watching a movie.
Yeah,
Beck just needs to cry all the time.
Yeah,
Beck, I
you
know
gotta
you were
let it
really
out.
sad
I know.
after Ryan's World. Because like the guy lost his sister when you started watching Ryan's World.
You gotta let it out. Gatorade. Is it in
and
you?
yeah, that just contributes to my It Ends With Us experience. Is that it was right after Didi.
That's fair.
Next movie?
Next movie.
Next movie, you can't really participate in this one. This is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
I want
Now-
to participate in like the drama side. But I guess
Now-
that's later.
Have you seen this movie?
No.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, it had a 40th year anniversary. Or not re-release. I guess this theater was just showing it for fun.
Yeah.
And it is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I don't think we it's just really good.
I like the
At
Indian
least-
stereotypes.
At least me and Nicola think it's really
I think it's good.
I think it's way better than
I really like how it plays from the previous movie, because in the previous movie, the people come with the swords and they do the big sword thing, and he whips out his gun and just shoots them. And in this movie, the people come, they whip out their big sword things, and he reaches for his gun, but the gun is gone.
uh-oh.
Wow, reference to the
Um,
first movie.
But everything about this movie really good, really solid, amazing movie. Now, why we're talking about it, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, a 9 out of 10. Really good. And Beck gave it 6 out of 10.
Yes.
I want him to explain
I
himself
will
because
explain.
we watched the coolest fucking movie ever.
Okay.
And he looks at it and said, this thing sucks, actually.
Let me
This is like
give
me
a
and Mad Max.
precursor to my experience of this movie. I
Let's hear it.
had just walked out of Coraline
Yeah.
with a friend, and I really liked Coraline.
Yeah.
Why do you
Also,
wear a
like,
mask?
I was pretty tired. I was expecting to just walk out of Coraline and like go home. But like 2 hours before I went to Coraline, it was like, "Hey, do you want to watch Temple of Doom?" And I'm like, "You know what? Sure." Um,
Bro
so
didn't use the 3-hour rule.
and then I went to Coraline and I was already pretty tired, and then I had to walk into Temple of Doom. And I only did it because like some random amazing seats opened up like 2 hours
Yeah.
before showtime. So we bought the tickets. We go into the movie, and I really liked the opening scene where they're like doing all
I
that
missed that.
stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I also loved it when they did all that stuff.
And
Nicholas showed
then
up,
they
like,
get on
5
the
minutes
plane. And then it kind of just goes downhill from there. I just
How
it
do you
goes
mean it goes
downhill.
downhill?
What? I think it
When the movie
plateaus.
begins, it goes downhill.
yeah.
I think I think the opening happens and then it drops down to expositional things, slowly rises back up to the point it was at in the beginning of the movie, and then it's there at the top for the rest of the movie.
I don't think it hits as good as the original, as at least the opening. Maybe because I was
The
just
original, you haven't seen the original.
Yeah,
what
I
the
mean,
fuck
the
are you
opening.
talking about?
The opening scene.
It does. The opening is a musical number, and then they poison, and then they
Bro
jump
just
out
likes
of the car.
musicals. I
Cool.
think Beck just likes musicals.
I also like musicals. This movie's great. What do you mean? You watch the part where they're sitting watching a ritual happen. A guy gets strapped into a cage. His heart gets ripped out. His chest cavity heals back up. He gets lowered into hell, and you're like, no, 3 stars.
Yeah, okay, that was kind of boring. I do think it got like more interesting. Like, I think after or during the minecart chase, but also like
or during the minecart chase,
um
he didn't find Indiana Jones
I
fighting
think what
guy with
happened is that
fighting
Beck
big
fell asleep.
guy while being voodooed.
I think what happened is that Beck was so tired from Coraline, he fell asleep during the movie, woke up after and was like, shit, I have to do something, and just pulled shit out of his ass and was like, yeah, so during this part and like around that part, that happened.
no,
And then, yeah.
it did. I think the problem is when you were saying that it was like getting really good, it was when I was getting more and more tired, so I enjoyed it less. So it felt like it was plateauing, you know, like this, where they like cancel each other
Like
out.
that. Yeah.
Maybe if I watch it when
just,
I'm not tired, I might like it more.
okay.
But
But,
I'm
like-
holding strong with the 6 stars. It kind of it
Six.
felt like on par with Twisters to me.
On par with Twisters?
Is a crazy statement.
Are you kidding me? Are you joking, dude?
Actually, a
Like
crazy
Twisters that
statement to
much.
say.
Wow.
Actually, an insane thing to say.
Insane take. Dude, it's Indiana Jones.
I
How do
don't
you-
know. I don't.
Indiana Jones and the
I don't
Temple of
fuck with
Doom.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones after this movie. Maybe I should watch another one.
Go watch Raiders of the Lost Ark
Okay.
and The Last
I
Crusade.
do want
Go
you to
watch
know,
them.
Aiden, I also don't fuck with the Star Wars original trilogy, so
That's
What?
a crazy
That's
ass
actually a
thing.
crazy.
I
Beck,
don't
just,
fuck with it, okay?
Beck started
Those are-
watching movies yesterday. Jesus Christ.
This
Beck,
is
Beck, this is where I draw the fucking line. You don't
This is-
fuck with the
I
original
fuck with
trilogy
the
of
original
Star Wars?
trilogy.
What the fuck? Beck? Those are like the best movies of all time. What the
fuck with
fuck?
This is why I brought up the hype. Okay, I'll agree.
actually
Those are like
insane.
3.5 to 4s. They're not the best movies ever, but they're really good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, this is why I brought up that one meme of like guy who's Guy
Thinking
who's seen
cap, this
1,000
is
movies.
actual
Guys who's seen
garbage.
10,000 movies. Beck, you are literally the first guy.
You've only seen like 2 movies.
I've seen 500 movies.
Beck is the fucking thinking cap on. Great, cool, literally coolest thing ever. This thing is actually dog
Just
shit.
don't vibe with it. You guys can enjoy it. I don't think it's bad. I just didn't vibe with it.
You're such a
You
fucking
not
loser.
vibe
Beck.
with it. Beck,
I don't
you can't be a film guy
know.
if you don't vibe
Like, I
with
see
them.
why people
Beck-
like the movie. I just don't fuck with it.
Beck, hand in your film degree.
Yeah, dude, come on. You are not going to Emerson College. Just go to like.
Go to fucking
Go to this-
Borderlands.
go to the fucking
Step into
dirt.
film school.
Bro, go switch majors.
Beck, no.
You
go
can't
into the
draw.
fucking dirt.
You can't
Go into the
rate
dirt,
You
Beck.
can't do movies. You can't draw. You can't do movies. Go fucking switch majors. Go become a finance bro.
This guy,
Yeah.
this guy hates movies.
Go be in a coffin where you belong.
Go fucking kill yourself.
Don't do that.
Again with the kill
This is the
yourself.
murder-suicide episode, guys.
The murder-suicide episode?
This is the rape, murder-suicide episode. So talking about
terrible.
rape.
All right.
Uh-oh, we're
Is this
at
the final
our
movie?
last,
Now,
we're at the
guys,
last movie.
this is the sexiest
Guys.
pod Civil War.
This is it.
Celsius
The
pod.
Celsius Pod
So-
Civil War.
I want to
Okay,
start this off.
Now
by
that I know
talking-
about Beck's horrible taste in movies,
my
I can disregard his review for It Ends With Us and just only think about
Okay.
Uri's review.
And also, here's the thing. Before we start talking about It Ends With Us, Beck rated Temple of Doom the same as It Ends With Us.
Now that's pretty funny for me. That's pretty funny.
Okay.
The same rating.
But let's first define the sides. Now, the
Can I-
left
can I
side of
define
your
the-
screen is the people that liked It Ends With Us. The right side of
The
your
left-
screen,
Watching
the
it
people that
mirrored in
didn't
actual
like It Ends With
productions.
Us.
Yeah, so me and Nicola do not like the movie. We think it's bad, and we did not enjoy it.
Me
Okay,
and
I would
Courtney
say I
enjoyed
didn't
the
enjoy it,
movie.
and it was below average. I wouldn't say it's bad. I would definitely say it's below average.
The content of the movie is bad.
Here,
Yes,
I think we can define
the
it as
subject matter is
Aiden
not
is the
good.
lowest, Nicola is the second lowest, I'm the second highest, and Uri is the highest.
Uri
That's
liked
only like
this
a
film the
point.
most.
Only a 0.5 higher than Beck.
Yeah, but still.
That's still big
I'm
for this movie.
That's still you gave it a 7 and Beck gave it a 6.
I'm gonna say this. I want to start off by talking about this movie just in general. It is unfortunate that I have Beck as my teammate after I heard what he
Oh
thinks
my
about Star
God.
Wars.
I know. So you kind
But
of already
I
lost
like
half your
other
Yeah,
credibility.
Star Wars movies, guys. I like the prequels, and I like one of the sequels.
Oh my
no!
No! You can't. Don't say you like the Star
Bro
Wars
started
sequel. Are
watching
you
fucking
kidding
movies
me?
yesterday. Bro actually started watching movies
I like
yesterday. This is
3 and
insane.
8, okay?
You
I'm
like
gonna-
8? Are you?
Beck, never watch movies again.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Never rate movies again. Never rate movies again.
You like
Aiden's gonna burn the shirt after this.
He's gonna burn that shirt.
You like that
I'm
movie?
gonna go fucking drive. Go fuck yourself.
We're going. We're leaving.
I'm driving.
No, okay. So I gotta.
I'm gonna go set up my fucking
so-
steering wheel.
I'm gonna let me just like briefly describe the movie, and then I'm gonna say just a few quick things before we get into
Can
our
we
arguments.
first
So this
talk
movie
about the
felt-
circumstances where
You
we
mean
had
where the
this
guy tries to
planned
rape the guy?
for after Didi, where I timed it so it was exactly an hour and a half, which was the length of Didi, into this movie. So
And I was like, I talked to Beck like, Beck, isn't our movie starting at 8:35? And he's like, no, it's 9. And then I told him again, Beck, I'm pretty sure it's 8:35. And he says, no, it's 9. And then it happens. It was 8:35.
and we
Beck was
walk
like,
in and we miss like the most important like first red flag of the movie. So I was expecting
No,
a
and
completely
guys-
different movie.
You missed the first red
Guys.
flag? What are you talking about? You
Guys,
walked in and
the
the guy
mo-
says, can we have sex? And then- And then she's like, how many girls has that worked on? And he's like,
I watched
all
a
of them.
6-year-old die, and do you want to bang me now? Actually, it was beneficial that we missed the first 2 minutes of the movie because
Okay.
because
was
then it would have
fucking dog
set up
shit.
the yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
give
so let me
the
just what's
stuff. Yeah.
So essentially, this movie follows Lily Blossom Bloom.
The
after,
most fake name
Yeah,
ever.
I know, the fucking
It's
worst name
such a
ever
fake
given.
name.
They gave the fucking, and of course she's a florist, and they make the joke in the movie. It fucking
Yeah.
sucks.
And so let me just describe the plot. So after her father's death, and then the movie sort of cuts between her making her like her
Making
new
love
flower
to the
shop
fucking
and like
rapist.
finding becoming in love with this new guy that came out on the roof after like her father's funeral. It cuts back to the past where we see her falling in love with the first boy she ever met, who
Who
was like the
sexually
homeless
harassed
guy.
her the second he moved.
Can I
talking
talk,
Oh my
Nicola?
God. Nicola, let him finish and then we can argue.
Sorry, I'm trying to set up my steering wheel.
And then, so it cuts between her falling in love with her first love,
Yeah.
Atlas, who was living across the house, and her dad was abusing her mom. So we see like that part of the past into the main story where she meets Atlas again after all this time, but she's still dating this new guy, Ryle. And as they're becoming more close together, he shows he's becoming a more abusive person. And then, but then she ends up pregnant with his child. And then at the end of the movie, they do end up end up separating. And then so she just kind of like that she like I'm assuming he'll like probably still. I haven't read the second book, but this is based off a book that I've read.
Here's my main issue
And
with
that's
what
why
you
we saw
just
it.
said. You glossed over the big part between she gets pregnant with his child and they separate with she gives birth to the child with him and
Yeah.
he helps her like set up everything and he is with and she is basically sticks with him until the baby comes out of her.
Okay, but
And
Which is insane because like a day before that, he like not a day, but like a month before
9
that,
months, bro.
he tried to
9 months.
okay, no, 9 months before the birth. I'm talking about like setting up the crib and all that stuff when she was
Yeah.
when she found out she
But
was
she was
pregnant.
already pregnant after the rape scene.
So she found out basically like a couple weeks, like no, because she found out like a couple right after when she was in the hospital
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
escaping from his
Yeah.
rape, and then
And
she still didn't fucking separate for another 9 months.
And then
Okay, but-
and Atlas out this movie, when she re-meets Atlas, he encourages her to leave, and then the movie ends off with like they're probably gonna like get together in the future. In the second book, they actually do, and like it starts with us, and that book ends with like like them like getting married. I think I haven't read the second book. I don't think I will, but
You mean she gets married to the other guy or Ryle?
Alice.
Atlas in the
Okay,
second book.
okay, then that makes sense.
And-
I thought you
and-
said he got back with Ryle. I'm like, what the fuck?
And then
Well, Ryle's in the second book. He still is there.
yeah, he's still in the second book. But and so I'm gonna contest a few things so you can't use them in the
I
argument.
do. One
Great.
thing I want to
Please
make a point about Nicholas' thing that he just said was I think the reason that she divorced him at the birth was because Ryle proposed to her at the other birth. So it's like
Do not say that she did that for symbolism's sake.
Please do not say it
author
for
made
fucking
it like
symbolism.
that.
I'm gonna say this for. I'm gonna say.
I'm just saying he wanted it to be like
Do not say that it's okay because it
not
parallels
okay.
a scene
I'm
from
saying that's
earlier.
why
It's a movie, Aiden. It's allowed to do that.
They could have done it way better.
Fuck you. Okay, so I'm gonna say a few things. I'm gonna
This
say
is a
this.
Fucking
fictional
sucks,
movie. There's
man.
no actual like bad stuff happening. I want you to realize that.
There's consequences for real life, but we'll get into that.
Can I talk?
No.
Sure, yes, please.
I'm just gonna contest a few things so we can't use them in the
I'd
argument.
love to hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I am not like an insanely super fan about this movie. I'm not just a stan, okay? I read the book. The book is also insanely cringy, and the movie is pretty like kind of in the same vein. However, I do think the book was a little better because in the book, it's like a more of like you kind of build more of the character in the book. I'm gonna have to say, where in the movie they kind of condensed a lot of the story. Don't
No.
shut the fuck up about your sister, Aiden. Shut the fuck
No,
up.
no. All I'm saying, Uri, is that actually helps our point because you're saying the book is better than the movie and they adapted it poorly.
I'm not saying they adapted it poorly. I think they did it pretty straight on adaptation of the movie. I'm just saying the book was a little fleshed out more because obviously it's a book. But
So the movie is not as good as the book because they did not flesh out the character.
No, because
but it's like it's basically the same.
the book has like
But it's
a
basically
longer
them, but
runtime, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just a bit fleshed out more, and I'll talk about more of the book versus movie things later. But I'm gonna say this. There's also been like a lot of drama behind the scenes for this movie, which doesn't like affect our main thing here, but it's like very interesting because that's been all over my feed recently. What else? I was gonna say, obviously, you know, this movie, I think a big kind of flaw of the movie, which also kind of like I kind of wanted it to be like that way. It was kind of marketed pretty poorly in a way that it like
I
makes
didn't
it like
know
a
this
rom-com.
movie was about abuse until like an hour into it.
When he
I'm
starts abusing her.
I'm also glad it was marketed like that because I want you guys to be
I
surprised.
was so surprised, bro.
And so I'm
How were you surprised?
Yeah.
Immediately.
Immediately. I told you. I literally turned to Aiden within the first 5 minutes when the guy said, can you have sex with me? And I was like, big red flag right there.
How are you surprised? The first part of the movie is like her with Alice, and they're like, "Oh, my parents beat me, and my parents together because we get beat by our parents together." And then she gets a boyfriend, and then immediately he's a red. Oh, he's probably gonna hit her, and then he does.
One thing I do want to
But-
say quickly is, have any of you guys heard of a show called Jane the Virgin?
Yeah, I've seen it.
of it.
Because I kept thinking like throughout the entire movie,
Listen,
this love interest guy looks familiar. He's the love
He's the
interest for
give me.
Jane in Jane the Virgin. So now I can no
Wow.
longer watch that show without fucking thinking of this guy.
He's also the director of the movie,
He's
the actor.
director of the movie.
And so I'm gonna say this. This is my review of the movie, and okay, I'm
Okay,
gonna
let's
say,
hear
and we can each give our own review, and then like have our fight, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not in love with the book or anything like that. I think I wanted to see this movie because I read the book, and I read the book because like
That's fair.
I know it was like I've heard about this book and I wanted to read it just because I know it kind of seemed a bit interesting, and I was fine with the book. I didn't like give it like an insanely good review, but it was like for me it was a nice little read, I guess. And I saw the movie, and I thought the movie wasn't terrible. I enjoyed it like okay. It's like maybe a little bit average movie, a little bit above average for me. It's like a nice little movie. I don't think for me the messaging kind of worked for me at least, and I thought the characters were worked pretty well, and I enjoyed the movie.
Okay, but what
like,
was the message?
I mean, just don't stay with your abusive partner.
Okay,
which
but she
doesn't.
does stay with her abusive husband for 9 months.
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god, Nicola, you're such an
You're
idiot.
basing this off one scene, and you're saying they spent 9 months together. When earlier in the scene
Yes, she
before
does.
that, she doesn't respond to his texts.
Nicola, I'm gonna
literally
defend.
does.
I am gonna defend them. It wasn't the full 9 months because after because she's one already pregnant when she goes into the hospital, and two, by the time he does come to the house,
She's really pregnant.
she is very pregnant.
Yeah.
But still, it's
So-
stupid that he even got to come to the house or go to
Alright,
the birthday.
I
Both of them
want-
just
Nick,
pretty
don't you-
stupid.
I want to
Okay,
give my
back.
review. And I do want to say it's hard I need to explain the experience of this movie because of Didi. Now, what Didi did was it was an amazing movie, and it kind of broke me down emotionally. So, like, I was already feeling very, like, emotionally vulnerable going into this movie. So I think I was able to feel it a lot more. And also, like, I know you guys are going to say
Bro
that's so
became an
stupid.
empath because of
I
Didi.
didn't see a lot of these, like, quote unquote twists coming. Like, I didn't know it was going to be about abuse I didn't know that the boyfriend from her childhood would come back. I was surprised by that.
What?
I was surprised by that. I thought
You were surprised by
I
that?
was.
That's like, why was it in the movie if he wasn't
Because
gonna
it was
come back?
literally a flashback.
Like, I
Come
know you
on,
and me are on the same side, but come on, how do you not see that coming?
Come on, dude.
And it felt like I was very immersed in like the world of this story, and it is most
Yeah.
likely just because I was so like in like the flow state after Didi of like getting really into a movie, you know.
Yeah. And you enjoyed it, like
I did enjoy it,
nice, like,
yeah.
oh,
I thought it had a good message. I think it was all.
I just think there would have been a much better way to convey that message than they did
Yeah.
in the movie. Like, it's a really good message that they could have done so much better.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
one thing I want to say that you guys are gonna fucking yell at me for is I liked
it better than Temple of Doom.
Okay,
you like did the
I
same.
like
as
that
much.
Ryle isn't like a one-dimensional like villain guy, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's not like a problem.
yeah.
No,
like I
what?
feel like
Why are we?
okay.
Do you think we want one-dimensional
Well,
characters?
I'm like,
Yeah,
like,
what?
like, I think he was very like
Why? Yeah, why
He-
did you like
he
come
was
up with that? Like
humanly
it's a big
written,
thing. You're
okay? Like,
Yeah, everyone else isn't. Only
Yeah.
him is he's the
No,
only
but
character
why
that's
did you
written
bring
like
it
a
up
person.
you guys might yell at me for this because this is a really hot take, but the character isn't poorly written.
No,
Okay.
he's
And
the
that's
only
good.
he
character.
is very well
well.
written. I like the way like that scene after 9 months when he like learns to like accept that what he did is like unforgivable and he can't like take it back. I thought that was a really good scene.
The one good scene in the movie,
And
in fact.
yeah. And I feel like the girl also like it kind of makes sense why she wouldn't why she would stay with him that long. Cause like,
Yeah.
you know, she's like been through this like abusive relationship and like it feels like he's so connected to her through like his sister working at his flower shop and being his best friend and then all this.
Oh yeah, and then I really
inter-
hate that the sister was like, as his brother, I want you to forgive him, but as your friend, I would never forgive you. Like, why would she say that?
I think
Like, I understand the
that's
second
a
part.
good line.
Why the hell would
The
she ever
first half
support her
isn't.
brother?
I feel like that was a really good line too. It shows her conflicting emotions. That, like, you know,
Why
she's
would
like
she
she's
be
tied to both of these people so dearly.
Why
I
would
thought
she
that
ever be on her brother's side? His brother's a
Or
rapist.
why would she say that to her?
Yeah.
At least say, "Hey, I am on your side," and
Well, she did say that though.
so
And you just cut out, so whatever you said is null and void.
yeah,
okay. I
Um,
said, why would she say that to Lily Blossom
Bloom?
Flower? Yeah, Lily Bloom Blossom Flower, bitch. Instead of just thinking to herself, "Yeah, what my brother did is wrong."
and I have some bad news.
That's not something.
The audience
Yeah?
can't hear thoughts.
You know, they can't hear thoughts. And you know why? Because this movie didn't have any thought. It's Aiden review time. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
Move
okay,
over.
for me to fucking
You
check
wrote a
out.
fucking essay for this. This is
I
longer
really
than
got
the
you.
school papers. I'm like, I have to get 300 words. He wrote 350 for the fucking Exodus review. He cares so much about this movie, bro.
Yeah, it seems like it's actually your favorite movie of the year, maybe.
This is
Forget
the
about
most
this one.
Then read the review.
about a movie all year.
Move over, challengers. The worst romance movie.
Shut the fuck up.
This is
Shut the
not
fuck
even
up with this
a
shit.
romance movie.
What is this one?
No, Challengers.
Challengers not even a romance
about
movie, dude.
tennis.
Yeah,
Yes,
Challengers is a
you
comedy
watched the
movie,
movie?
guys. According to
Yeah.
Google, Challengers is a comedy movie.
Challengers is like a fucking drama.
No, it's a
It's
comedy
a
movie.
romance movie. It's a love triangle
It's
movie.
It's a
about
comedy.
Tennis, Aiden. Do you not watch the movie?
It's a
Did
comedy,
you?
guys. Did you not read Google?
All right. Please stop me anytime you have something
Okay, I will.
Okay.
to debate it. I'll start with this. This movie is not targeted toward. I knew that
Can we
going
tell a
in.
TikToker story just quickly?
Oh
Oh,
my
there-
god.
But I can still enjoy a romance/drama film. But when your target audience is TikTok Gen Zers, don't make your movie 2 hours long and a slog that I felt uncomfortable watching.
Speaking
for
of
most of the
Gen
runtime.
Z TikTokers,
So there were women in our entire theater. It was basically all women. And when the Taylor Swift song played, they started doing like TikToks. A few of them next to us.
turn their phones on full brightness and started going like this and like lip syncing to the Taylor Swift song.
Okay, I was the one next to them, so I should be the one explaining this.
Okay.
It was not TikTok, it was Snapchat. And and the reason that's important is because Snapchat has the built-in thing where when it's dark, it puts a big white ring around your screen to work like the flash, which means their screen was basically pure white, and they were lip syncing to the song by Taylor Swift in the middle of the theater, and it was super distracting, but at the same time, it was super funny. So
Okay, wait, is it just me or did they play the Taylor Swift song over like the girl recovering from the rape? Because I feel
Yes,
like
they did do
Oh!
that works really,
Oh!
that works really
Oh!
bad when you have when it's
Uh-oh.
it's almost like that's the target audience.
It's almost as if these are the problems I have with.
Well, if these are your problems, I think they're pretty thin problems. I'm gonna be honest.
You think that playing the Taylor Swift song?
It's a sad tale. I don't think the song choice is the wrong thing. I think the reaction to the song choice by the audience was a bad thing.
And that's part of the problem. That's the problem with it. I've been told that this book is a defiance of typical in romance, but everything in this movie is set up in a way that follows basic and predictable structure a romance film could have ever
Isn't
taken.
Yeah, do you want me to pull up the notes again to
Subverting
pull
it?
up what a romance movie is?
The point of subverting it is having the same plot, but like it's different, you know?
Okay.
Like it follows the
Let
same
me-
plot,
it was
but it's
the
about
exact
abuse
same.
instead of
Give me a
romance.
second.
How is it the exact same? How is it the exact same as something like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? How is it the exact same in that? Because in that one, it's just about those two. In here, we have like a third element with like the abuse and the other guy.
Called a love triangle. Apparently, you
No.
guys don't know what that is because that's what it was.
But you know,
one
but-
second. Give me one second, guys.
Abuse, but you
Give
don't
me
see those
one second,
normal
one
abusive
second,
relationships
guys.
in rom-coms.
No, but all of the writing tropes of a romance
Fuck.
film is there.
The, we don't have.
But it's
Fuck.
meant to be like a romance novel. You're saying this romance movie is not meant to be a romance movie, but it's using romance. Basically, you're saying it's
No. I'm saying it is a romance movie that is supposedly one that deviates from traditional norm, and it traditionally and it follows the exact same plot structure as a normal romance film.
it is
and
subversive
doesn't deviate.
because it does
Until the
follow some
last, like,
plotline,
arc.
yes, but it's about abuse instead of love, which is
And it
different than a normal-
romanticizes that
It does
abuse.
not
Is the
romanticize
problem.
abuse.
How? She doesn't
How?
end up with the fucking guy.
She fucking doesn't have
And
with
how
guy, and
long
we're
does it-
everyone fucking hates this guy throughout the entire movie.
Okay,
She
but
gets
also the main
slapped,
issue.
and then it's like it's okay, and then she gets pushed
And
down
that's
the
a bad
stairs.
thing,
Okay,
Aiden. It's
okay,
like
and
a
here's
fucking
another
bad
thing. No. Here's another thing. The
Yes.
reason why it's dangerously close to condoning rape is because they
doesn't.
set up the asking for divorce to be like an unexpected moment where it's like they're building it up like it's almost like she's gonna get back with him, and then she asks for divorce, and that's so stupid. Why would they do that?
Tension.
Yeah.
Why?
Dude,
That's stupid. You cannot make tension like that.
No, the thing is, I feel like you guys
You
are like
guys
thinking
mad
like
at story structure.
you're mad at story structure and
Because
also
it shouldn't follow the story structure.
Why? Those are like
Okay,
those are like
it's
very
like-
real things that some people go through.
Guys,
And like,
should
I
have turned to the
understand
dark
from your
side 'cause
abusive
it's evil. If we have him pulled towards the dark side, that's bad. Because the dark side does bad things.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What the fuck are you
Oh my
talking
god,
about?
how did you
This is
Star
all
Wars? This
unusable
metaphor doesn't go
audio.
anywhere.
Beck has never actually watched the Star Wars movies in his life. He was just trying to
I'm
make
saying you need some tension where the character might do the wrong thing.
And they had that already. The fact that she was still with him for the entire movie was tension. And then it released. Then the tension released, Beck. She was pregnant and she was like, oh wait, I shouldn't be with this guy. And then she has the conversation with her forget about him. And then she gets back with him.
Not get
For at
back
least
with
a
him,
month.
Aiden. They have one
at least a
scene.
month.
He goes to the crib for his son or daughter.
Yes, and he is there with her. The problem is that Ryle is there. That
No,
fuck-
because Aiden, I feel like you're disregarding that this is like they
This is
were like
one
in
scene.
love with each other. You are disregarding that they were in love with each other. It's very hard to break from your abusive partner. I feel like you're disregarding that
The
whole fact.
reason
That it's
they,
very
that
hard.
they kind of go back together is to prove that she's completely ended the relationship. That it ends with them.
Yeah, because Aiden, abuse is very hard to break from. It's not like,
I
oh,
understand
he hit me
that.
There
once
was some
and
abuse.
then
They should just instantly leave. You're like, it's like there's a human element to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel
no,
like
I
you're really
understand.
disregarding that element.
No, I understand. And it takes her up until that point in the movie that she does leave. And that's good. She leaves him. And then she starts hanging out with him again.
It's to prove
After
that
we've
she's
had the-
ended the cycle, Aiden.
Yeah, because
Even
he
if-
still has a child.
Even if he
and-
tries to come back, she's still done.
Yes. Now, Beck, he does come back, at least for a little bit. And that little bit that he comes back is the problem.
Why is that
It's to
a problem? Because
prove
like it's
that,
very
like-
hard to separate from your abusive partner.
Yeah, because like the abuse.
But
and then
she did separate
she
for
did
like
separate.
7
And then he
months.
still comes back, and she has to like grapple with him coming back, but then she still ends it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, after she separates. And then she forces he forces himself back in. And instead of her saying, no, get out, she says, okay, help me build the crib and come to the
And
murder.
then she says, "No, get out."
Yeah.
And then that's the
Oh my
problem.
God.
Why is that
And
happening?
then
Why is that
We
fucking
Oh,
need
and
happening?
then-
like a bit of time to show that like she's falling a bit back into it, but then she's able to pull herself out by herself.
They need it because that is a real thing that fucking happens.
4 teenage guys that have never experienced an abusive relationship argue on what an abusive relationship is like.
True. Let me continue
Also
reading my
arguing
thing.
about what like women in abusive relationships feel like.
Yes. So we have no stake. You guys, we don't have stakes in this. We don't know
I
how
read
it
it. I hear a lot about abuse.
Oh yeah, bro, it's fucking
Bro would be the
reading
guy.
the fucking Reddit stories for 5 weeks about abuse, and it's like I know everything.
I know
Okay, let me
everything.
I'm
Let me
sure
keep
an
going.
abuser.
You get AP psychology class. I know things.
Let me go back. Okay. Predictability is not all bad, but it got to a point where it felt like this movie was made for people who had never seen a movie before and didn't
What?
know how basic storytelling works. The first scene of Ryle, are you fucking kidding me? Why is his name that? It,
Ryle
Ry-
Kincaid, by the way. Ryle Kincaid.
Ryle is but the first scene of him is being pissed and throwing chairs. That is not the subtle foreshadowing you think it is. That's setting something
a
up
red
that makes the
flag.
rest of the movie.
That's not subtle at all.
Oh my, Beck, you're telling me that. So we watched the movie.
Yes.
The first 3 things that Ryle does is throw a bunch
We
of
didn't
chairs and
see
get
the
mad.
chairs. I'd like to clarify. We missed the chair scene.
Which made the movie better. The fact that
It
we
did. I
missed
agree
the
with you on
opening
that.
scene made the movie better because the scene was bad. So the first 3 things that the audience will see of Ryle is him throwing chairs and being mad, telling Blossom that he saw a 6-year-old get shot and die, and then ask her to bang her and say that it's worked on every single other woman he's ever done it with.
Yeah, and that it shows that he is a bad guy from the start.
And then she gets with him.
Yeah, you know, because she's messed up from her childhood, Aiden.
It's called childhood trauma.
That doesn't apply to this situation.
Yes,
her father and mother with her, Ryle and
She had an
Lily.
abusive father, bro.
And where does that put her? How does that put her in the relationship?
She can
You're saying she
easily
has a
get
daddy
manipulated
king? Like,
into
what?
abusive relationships.
I'm so confused. Are you saying she has a
Are
daddy
you
king?
saying she liked being abused?
I'm not saying she liked being abused.
Okay,
I'm
that's-
saying she was more susceptible to an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
she ignored the warning signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes her a bad protagonist.
Hey, you're. Wow.
Yeah, like the
Bro
way
hates
she like
women.
brushes it all off, being like he still loves me. That's from being in an abusive relationship.
And it makes it hard to watch in an unenjoyable movie.
For you,
Oh, he doesn't have a rebuttal.
I
I
can
got
see
him.
for some
I
people
got him. He has no
this
rebuttal.
is a very hard
No,
movie to
I have
watch.
a
Yes,
rebuttal.
Aiden. I agree.
It's a hard movie.
It is a
It's a
fun
hard
to
movie.
watch.
I'm not going to default that. It's a hard movie. And Aiden, you were right. It's not for your demographic. It's for
It's for Ari's demographic.
it's for my
what?
demographic.
It's for
Your
teenage
demographic?
guys.
Okay. Who's read the book?
That's such a small little
It's
demographic.
for people like Ryle.
To clarify, I understand this story is about abuse. I understand it's hard to get away from abusers. The one part of the movie I did like was when Lily finally broke up with Ryle and how she put it into perspective, exactly what he was doing and how he was doing it to her, and putting it in the form of what had happened if it happened to a person you care about.
Your
And
daughter
then-
specifically.
Exactly. And then I understand the message of moving away from an abusive family. Her saying it ends with us.
That's
It's
actually how the book ends with that line.
Yes, but when the audience is actively clapping for and oogling the abuser, because he's hot,
Okay, they should-
I lose hope in
swooning over the
humanity.
abuser.
Okay, but Aiden,
I lose hope in humanity.
Aiden, that's just a problem with a lot of serial killer movies, like fucking Jeffrey
Dahmer.
Dahmer.
People are simming over Dahmer.
Yes,
Dude,
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
a problem.
a general problem.
People should not be fucking doing that.
My major problem with this movie is that it is actively hurting society. It's not the fact that it's a bad
It's
movie.
not.
It's the fact that what it reflects on society and people. And
The thing
how
is, Aiden,
they
you
think
are,
about
you are
love and things.
supposed to like, you are supposed to kind of like fall in love with Ryle as Lily does in the movie. And
I
like,
can't do that when the first scene we see of him is him saying, "Yeah, I saw a 6-year-old die one time. Do you?"
It reflects because Ryle was actually the 6-year-old. He was
Yes.
the 6-year-old.
Yeah, I know that. That doesn't condone
No,
any
he
of his
didn't. He
actions.
wasn't. His brother was the 6-year-old. He was the guy that saw it.
Okay,
He was the one that did
one
it.
No,
thing
he
I
did
do
it.
want to say is I think the intro might have worked better. This is just my opinion. I don't know. If we
Yeah.
didn't have any red flags at the beginning, this is why missing the chair thing
Yes.
was a good thing, because it feels like you're able to build a connection with him without the red flags. Then when you see them, you brush them aside
Yeah.
more, like her.
No, I agree. And here's
But
the
you
thing,
can't
Ben.
ignore the fact that they
You're-
are in the film.
No, yeah. What you're saying is that the part of the movie has a problem, and it would be better if it did not have that problem.
Yeah, it's a small change. That doesn't make the rest of the movie terrible.
No,
Yeah.
it
Affects
affects
the entire movie.
It doesn't.
It does. It
I'm
affects the
just saying
entire
you need
movie.
to have the red flags come up maybe a bit later. That's the only thing I say is like a slight change.
And I'm agreeing with you.
Here,
I am
here,
agreeing with you.
can
The movie
I'm
could
gonna-
be better if the
Saying
movie was
that
better.
slight change is what makes like a 3-star difference.
No, I'm not saying it makes a 3-star difference, but it would help the movie a lot.
Yeah.
Because the first thing we see is this is a bad guy, and then gets with
What? You just
cut out for the
completely.
entirety of that.
without that scene, you would be like, Lily is with this guy because he is charming and hot and charismatic. But because you have that original scene, you see her get with this guy who already has like 15 billion major red flags blaring at Lily, and Lily gets with him, and you're like, Lily, no, you're so dumb.
I don't think he is. I think like you're like thinking he's too. I don't think it was like so red flagging that scene.
Was you're telling
you
me
talking
you
about?
meet a guy who says, "Hey, have sex with me," and you're like,
Murray,
"What the
go-
fuck?
Go onto
people
a random roof somewhere, and the first girl you see, you should throw a bunch of chairs
and then
ask her
say,
if she wants, and ask her if she
You're
wants
going the
to have
opposite
sex
way where
with
you're
you
gonna
now.
say the girl does something to me, and I was like, if the girl says like, I want to have sex with you, I'm gonna say like,
"You see,
when
this
and where?
is the issue. That's why. That's just the issue.
Okay,
this is why. This is why he likes it because he's like, ooh."
Shut the
I
fuck
want that
can
to
be
happen
Ryle.
to me.
No, I am gonna say something that I don't want you to like insanely clap back against. Like, this is a moment where I might agree with you that I think was a little bit fleshed out more in the books. I guess like I didn't really like the way they just kind of rushed past the abuse and something like we don't really know what happens, and then they cut back to like what really happened, because in the books
no, that was
it's
dumb.
very clear that he abused her, and she's like, don't do that to me again, after like the first like the hitting with the burn, like the pan thing.
Yeah.
In the book he's very clear like, you cannot do that to me again, but she still gets kind of like trapped within the relationship, because the thing is they reveal like much later after in the movie after like I think she was like pregnant that
the slap was intentional.
no, that he killed his brother.
Yeah.
They reveal that later. Where in the book, it actually happens after I think he throws her down the stairs, and that makes her like still want to go back to him, because she like realizes like, oh, he's just a broken man or something. And she
I
still
can
wants-
fix him.
So when she gets slapped in the movie, you think it's an accident, and she's like, "Oh, it's okay that you did that," but actually, it was intentional that we see in a flashback, which was really dumb.
That was really dumb.
that
The
was
second
dumb.
thing, when she does get pushed down the stairs, instead of having what you just said, which sounds like a good character moment that is conflicting to her, instead, what happens is she amnesia and forgot.
Yeah, that was
okay.
stupid.
I'm gonna have to admit, some of those were
I do think it
dumb.
works better the way Uri describes it in the book.
Yeah.
And so you feel it feels a bit more fleshed out. I'm gonna be like, I know you guys didn't like this. I really like the parallels between the father and the
Yes.
mother.
That
Yeah,
was
but the issue
really
is that
good.
was only really like the actual like, okay, well, it was like introduced in the beginning as like the abusive part, but the issue is like the accumulation of it only happened because of the other thing happening, and they happen at the same time. If it was introduced before, it would be a lot better for parallel. The issue is that they happen at the exact same time, and it makes the entire rape scene like unnecessary, because absolutely she did not need to get raped, because like, why do we need to see her get raped? The abuse is already horrible enough. We do not need to see her get raped.
I don't know.
I
feel
think
like
that is when the parallel became very clear to me.
What?
That's
yeah.
when it became clear.
Yeah.
I think for me, honestly, that's where it did become like they showed like it was a
How
lot
is
of
that
visual
when it
language.
became clear?
I don't know. I feel like when you have parallel scenes, they help like flesh out kind of like the nature of the character, at least for
It
me.
became way more clear in any Atlas scene beforehand. In any Atlas scene where Atlas is like, hey,
There's
I'm
literally a
also
scene
being-
where the dad beats Atlas senseless right before the
Guys, I'm gonna say this. I liked everything with Atlas. I think
Atlas is a
Atlas
goated character.
I
is
think
a goated
Atlas is a good character, and I think his motivation and his relationship with Lily is good. There are good parts of this movie. And then they have everything with Ryle, and then that's all bad.
It's supposed to be bad, Aiden.
About a
And
little
that's
bit over a fifth of this
bad
movie
about
is
it.
good, and that's where that 1 star comes from.
Yeah.
Can I also say something that was not present in the movie that was, I think, helped the
He
book a
went to
bit?
like Ireland or whatever.
Yeah, he went to like, so because after like, because before she gets like pregnant and stuff, like he's going to do like a doctorate program in like Ireland or something, like for his like neurosurgeon stuff. And but then after like the intense, like when he like assaults her, she like leaves, and then he goes to like Ireland or something, and that's when they actually have to separate from each other, and you get to see how like she does this on her own, like how she's so hurt by his attack. And so I feel like
Yeah.
that was better in the movie. They didn't do any of that.
Yeah,
really.
because they skip way too much over the rape part. That's another main issue.
yeah they
They
needed to
skip
like
it
The
way
movie
too much.
ends
I like
10
that,
minutes after that happens.
and that's
Yeah.
one of my issues with it as well.
yeah
Is that the rape scene, it feels so unnecessary also because they put because the amount of emphasis they put on it is not enough.
yeah.
Like there is some
I'll be
they need to
honest
put
with that.
so
They
much
should've
more
put
emphasis
more
on it.
emphasis, yeah.
And because they didn't, it makes me feel like they just shouldn't have included the rape scene.
But
I feel like they should have kept
but
it,
was
but
like
maybe like put
Yeah.
more into how terrible it was.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, but what I'm saying is because they didn't put more into how terrible it was, don't include the rape scene.
but it's
When
like
you're
a
saying
core
remove
part
the
of the
scene, I'm
book.
just saying add more to fix it.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree
Yeah.
with Beck.
Okay,
'cause, like,
but
that's
here's what
the
I'm thinking.
core
In
part
the
of
film
book.
process thing, they finished the film. They're no longer able to film any more scenes, so they can't add any more. They can only subtract. So I'm saying in the editing phase, they're like, okay, wait a minute, we don't have enough emphasis on this rape scene. Let's just get rid of the rape.
the problem with that though is that there's no really emotional climax. Well, the
Yeah.
emotional climax is the separation.
No, the emotional climax is that she's still pregnant and she's still pregnant with the abuser's
Okay, but
husband,
Nicola,
a child. So
have
they
to
still
think-
separate.
like the pushing down the stairs thing, that was pre-marriage, I believe. I don't remember the timeline specifically.
That was pre-marriage.
So after the marriage, she can't just decide, hey, I'm just gonna leave. There needs to be some like coinciding event, you know?
I
In a
just
lot,
don't-
no,
I
that's not
don't
true.
think it-
In a lot of states nowadays, you can just leave for any reason.
Well,
you can call for a divorce for any
legally.
reason.
I'm not saying legally. I'm saying like
emotional
Emotionally.
reason.
something needs to push her over the line to like realize.
And I guess in this movie, because she got amnesia and she forgot about everything, I guess that makes sense. But
Yeah.
again, why the fuck did she get amnesia?
Yeah, I mean that was not the best. Like they could have like handled it
That's
better.
my
Like,
issue.
as they
There's
do
so
in the
many.
book.
There's just too many problems that cascade. So
Yeah.
there is some good parts of this film, and I would say 1/5 of the film is good, which in that 1/5 equates to 1 star.
I think this
Yeah,
is where I think we should kind
what
of
he's saying
leave
is
it.
fair. Yeah.
This is where we kind of leave it. It really just comes from a matter of
All right.
I guess
Now
personal preferences
is
and
the
like
big idea.
demographics.
No, because here's the big thing. This is where we leave it for the podcast. Viewers, what do you think? Leave your suggestions in the comments below.
We're not. We need a better rap than that.
Guys, did you know there's actually like a
We never
potentially
set the
a
temperature,
Blake
guys.
Lively cut of the movie and a Justin Baldoni cut of the
I
movie?
would like to see both of those.
I'd also like to see both of them.
Well, we saw the Justin Baldoni cut. That's the one.
I'd like to see the Blake Lively one. Because another problem with this is that the cast, aside from Justin Baldoni, is like, yes, it's a romance movie for
no,
to go
Blake
watch
Lively
with
was
your
like,
boyfriend.
"Get the girls, come over," you know.
Yeah, like it's promoting itself
This is
as
not a girls' night
typical
movie.
romance movie. No, it's not, and that's what it's promoting itself as. That's what people think it is, and then they go into it and they're
What?
like, that's not what I thought it was. Is what people will be saying. And
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't what I thought it was, but that's the reason I don't like watching movie trailers. Is when I watch a movie completely blind like this, is I get like shocked a lot more, and it's a lot more engaging, you know.
yeah, I
Well, I
Like,
think
the
we just have to
entirety of
agree to
Alien,
disagree.
like the first part of Alien, I remember from the trailer that the woman dies from the chest burster. So I'm just like, what's the point in any of this? Because like I already know how the xenomorph gets, you know.
No, because but that's also like if you've seen any of the
Alien, yeah.
Alien.
No, but
That
no,
happens-
because I know who like gets chest bursted, you know.
Everyone is gonna die in the Alien.
We
Except
don't
for the
know
final
that.
Yes, we do.
It could
Have you
all
seen it? That's how
survive.
Alien works. Who's never seen a movie?
I think we just
Again,
gotta
Beck
agree to
started
disagree
watching
on this
movies
point.
yesterday. He doesn't know how films work.
I think we just gotta leave to disagree. Agree to disagree on this point. And what's the rec, guys?
Watch The Lighthouse.
Watch the Lego Batman movie.
or the
Go watch
Lego
Temple
movie.
of Doom.
Go watch Didi.
Oh yeah, Didi.
Go
Yeah.
watch any of the movies we watched except for Borderlands or It Ends with Us or Ryan's
Watch
World.
it.
Actually,
with
no.
us.
Watch It Ends with Us, and then leave your
Watch
comment
it and
below
us. We want to
Yeah.
hear what you
on
think.
your opinion. Where do you
Um,
stand on the film?
Hopefully, the opinion
you
of someone who
Celsius
isn't a teenage guy.
Please.
Always use Celsius, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching.